backwards billed themselves as the libertarian Rage Against the Machine, which is just so fucking cute. It's absolutely adorable. I had looked at the track names of backwards, and there's some interesting ones, particularly one, Democracy Sucks. Democracy sucks. That's cool, man. That's cool, man. That's cool. Loyalty is conditional. You're misinformed. So they tug at your heartstrings to mask what's underneath. Emotions are running high. So it's like nobody noticed a lie. No, we notice your lies all the time. Using false security as a bribe. But have you ever thought about as to why these people will go around hoping that you frown? Oh, that's lame. That's lame. At the idea that the sky's falling down. Wow. I know, wow. That was my reaction to that rhyme scheme that you just did. Was wow. They use it to control you. Like they package up and own you. Tap your fears and act like this. But ask yourself, is this really a path you feel? Selling your soul cheaper than a Happy Meal. It's sad to hear when you cling to a bad idea. Speak in lies, deny and imply that we could not get by without you. Rule through fear. It's clear that you're here to lead the sheep to shear their lives away. Entrust our faith to those who bend the knee, to the underlying hate that you helped create. So step back. The picture is bigger than you think. How can you open your eyes when you're blinded by a catchphrase? Okay. Like tokenized? Worth the time or worth the fine? I work to find solutions, but it hurts when my family falls for the okey doke. Kind of like Obama. We saw and we know he choked. Know what she wrote, bro. Said he was gonna bring the troops home. Got in and started singing a new song. I mean, that's true-ish. I mean, yeah, generally. But he's cool, so they thinking he can't do no wrong. Bomb more countries than Bush, but I got a new phone. Not an Obama reference. There's basically a whole verse dedicated to Barry there. We know what it is. Giving you the biz. I'm saying you ain't gotta lie to me. We know you got it wrong, but you're not alone. I'm not asking for apologies. I'd much rather you in a battle mood, waking up smelling the coffee. I'm just stressing to spread the message before they turn around and just off me. Jesus Christ, man, that is all over the place. All right, so that's Democracy Sucks. I guess. No, I'm actually kind of disappointed that he doesn't say Democracy Sucks in the song. I mean, I know not every song has to have the title in the song. I know that. But I really just wish I had a sound clip of Eric screaming Democracy Sucks.
Some men just want to watch the world burn.
Oh, she's so, it's the Sunny and Dre. Oh my God.
Welcome to every video we make. We use one little thing and then we build the narrative out of it.
Other people besides white dudes, like Star Wars. I'm just saying, we need to be conscious of our bias.
I talked about this one thing and we make a whole video out of it. That's what we do.
Weird.
You are the real superhero.
Well, I'm built like a goddamn brick.
Is he some sort of masochist?
There's a story about an old church lady. She had 3 sons that lived with her that was grown. And the youngest one was a felon who came home on parole. And her nephew was a nigga named Gary. He had 3 baby mamas of his own. So were scamming. They threw afties that were lit with people crumb. They had federal investigations pending. And that's how that they became the Shady Bunch. The Shady Bunch. The Shady Bunch. And that's how they became the Shady Bunch.
How do you do, fellow kids?
You did something very interesting with Star Wars. Think about it. The good guys are the rebels. They're using asymmetric warfare against a highly organized empire. I think we call those guys terrorists. Were you thinking of that at the time?
Forget it, safe.
We'll be here 5 minutes. Hold the line.
The advantage you guys hold in. And this here mobile mix. I'm gonna suck you a good one right in the kisser. You need a paddle to get levitate.
How many times? You think we ain't felt all the things? How many times? We say we oppose taxation. What about the roads? How many times? What about the roads?
And the same goes with Miles Morales. He is indeed, again, Miles Morales. He's also a Spider-Man.
I really dislike the fake geek thing and the poser nerd thing. That's not what we're about.
Like, I don't get offended by shit.
Every fucking conceivable opportunity so you can volunteer.
The Fandom Initiative is a group of people on a mission to counter anti-woke sentiment on YouTube.
Right, you fuckers.
We are passionate fans of film, TV, comics, and video games. We'd love to make YouTube videos about the things we enjoy, but the culture of YouTube fandom makes this impossible, thanks to certain networks and clusters of content creators who depend on outrage, deception, and harassment to drive clicks and bring in revenue. The YouTube algorithm pushes harmful content to fans who are at risk of indoctrination by consuming repetitive right-wing rage bait videos.
Damn, dude. Yes.
Some people would like to think that like you can be like 100% objective when watching something. Like remove your bias and just critique it like the truth. You can't.
So like, what is fucking bringing all these guys together other than like, I'm mad at fucking Brie Larson?
What? If I can't be a misogynist to you, I don't know what to do with you.
I oftentimes get called a shit.
Fuck it, man. Can't be worried about that shit.
But here's the thing. My picture is not on the wall in the lobby of Marvel Studios.
More and more people are fed up with that toxic content and culture.
Honestly, it makes this sound really cool.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa! What's that? Oh, that's a shit. Why don't you go and subscribe to it? I dare you. I fucking dare you.
Got it. Get it. Got it. Good.
Well, we're waiting.
Go back to ISOM. What?
I want to talk about your dad.
Yeah, let's talk about him.
You're a mean person, Dane.
Why? What are you talking about? What the fuck?
You're a mean person.
Why am I mean? What are you talking about? I didn't make that Shady Bunch thing. I don't have that kind of talent. That wasn't me. You know?
Sure.
Yeah. But let's bring on Eric's dad. What up, boss?
Oh man, I'm so disappointed in my son. I mean, all he does is you know, I don't even know anymore. Make shitty YAIRA trailers.
Yeah, he does seem to be on this new this adoption tip now, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, no,
a cause now. So.
I was about ready to say, like, you know, at least he's pro-adoption, because you know, adoption is an issue, and more people should adopt. So I think it's fantastic to put this out there.
No.
Yeah. Oh, is that news to you, Mark? sorry to be the bearers of such thing. Yeah. There's a whole thing, right?
I have heard good things about that Black Widow comic. I should probably check it out.
Let's see, Luca, your comment was not deleted. It's right here. It's just that if you post a comment a certain period before the stream goes live, eventually it does go away when the stream starts.
Mm-hmm.
So don't look to play victim so much, man. That actually plays right into exactly why you're fucking all excited for Gamergate 2.0, because just everywhere you look, somebody's trying to victimize Luca, you know? Anyway.
I am trying to victimize him.
Same.
Screw you, Luca.
I mean, we got this whole conspiracy thing, right?
Yeah, exactly. Actually, I've never seen him in the chat. But I also don't pay attention to it. So, what do we have on the
docket of shit to do? I don't know.
Today? There is
six people watching. Welcome to the Shillcast. Please hit the like and the subscribe and the other things that you do. You're supposed to do that. Do it.
Yes.
Whatever you do, take it like a chump.
Take it like a chump.
Yes.
Because it was meant to be the this blue.
Be nice, chilled.
Yeah, Turf is insulting all of the fans.
I did, yes. The chat is not worth. No, listen. We have Dane here who is a fiend for the chat, so I experienced what the chat has to offer.
Hey man, I'm trying to quit the chat. You don't have to fucking shame my addiction.
Listen, shaming addiction is the only way to get rid of the addiction. That is not.
Although look, Amanda's got a pretty. I'm going to go ahead and say silly question, but it's worth addressing. Maybe, Bob.
Yeah, I know. I was looking at it, and I guess we could. Honestly, like it's not like I don't view what I or any of us do as demonizing. It's more just like pointing out raw facts.
Yeah, I mean, things are different than other things, as apparently I have to say a million times. So for one thing, how is it unfair, right? Like, it's in no way, basically anything that we do is not going to be unfair.
Fuck them. Stop justifying it. Fuck them.
Far fucking larger than
there's
ours.
that aspect too. DJ's got a good point.
Just fuck them. Amanda Miller's, you're a fake ass account. Fuck you. Goodbye.
True. That's true. I bet it is.
I mean, it's just, I mean, like, they want to get like they want you to give a logical answer for them so you will entertain their bullshit. Amanda's
You're fucking right, man. Fuck that. Fuck you,
Fuck
Amanda
her.
Millers. You're not fucking Amanda Millers. You're
And yes,
a man.
I'm attacking a fan, I guess.
Yeah.
You're attacking all fans.
You're attacking me right now, DJ.
Go create another Gmail account and come in here and troll. Like,
no kidding.
Literally.
Damn.
But yeah, it is nice to see the Suskas get back to their roots. I'll say that. With women puking. It's very, very cool. Very cool stuff.
Somebody brought up that isn't there like a cliche in movies about blue beams in the sky? Isn't that like a big thing?
Yeah, there was
shooting blue
it's
beams
kind of
into the
died
sky?
down, but it was a big deal with it was Man of Steel and Avengers.
Oh, did we say harsh words, Amanda Minish?
Well, it's like Lord of the Rings, right? There's also a blue beam that goes into the sky.
Suicide Squad, the first Suicide Squad.
Yeah,
they said
Suicide
that.
Squad was where it really
Transformers. What is it?
Yeah.
Independence Day. Independence Day had a beam thing going.
There must be like in Godzilla, right? At some point.
Yeah, like they're way behind on the sky beam fucking trope. Like they know.
Yeah.
Even the MCU stopped doing that like 5-6 years ago.
Yeah.
I think even Harry Potter has one.
I mean, Age of Ultron didn't even have a sky beam. Come on, guys.
This is true.
Is this the similarities here?
I don't want to speak for Eric, but I'm going to. I'm gonna do it because I would imagine it's because everybody there is at least presenting themselves as who they are. I
don't see what purpose it would serve for me to go into Ethan's chat and start yelling at people in the chat. I don't see what purpose that would serve, to be honest. Like,
Yeah,
I get what you're saying, but when I'm on my stream or on my show, I literally can do whatever I want. I don't go into somebody else's house and start like attacking people.
Mm-hmm.
I put the seat down in other people's houses. In my house, I piss all over it.
Yeah. Also, I don't like. I get trolling.
Power
That's
move.
The thing. I understand trolling. That's the thing is like when I'm in an environment where we're trying to do a show and somebody comes in basically trying to get us to derail what we're doing, to answer a question that we've been asked a million times.
Yeah.
Just ignore them. They'll go away. Why are you like that? Doesn't work. It doesn't work. Like we did that for years. I did it for 10 years on my channel. It doesn't work.
Okay, so actually, I do want to say though, DJ, that this one I know this guy has been around quite a bit, and he is not a fake person. I think he's maybe I don't know, doesn't engage with the content in the same way, obviously, that we do. But like, I think this is a genuine question, and it is maybe worth repeating now and then why it is that ignoring them is just not a good idea. And
I think number one thing, there's a shit ton of them we do ignore.
Yeah.
There's ones that are prominent that we don't ignore, and those are the ones worth pointing out.
Yep. There's like we get accused of like going after the same ones a lot because we kind of do, but there's a reason for that. Generally, it's because those are the ones that are getting picked up by the algorithm, whether we fucking mention them or not. They're already getting play, and us covering them or not covering them is really not going to have any kind of substantial effect on them. So it's a calculus you got to do. It's like. Our thing is generally that we want to make sure that our commentary on them is critical enough that it can open some eyes and turn some people away from them and give people stronger arguments and whatnot against them.
Like, I don't think ignoring someone like Critical Drinker or Nerdrotic is going to make them go away. Let's be honest here.
No, there's Morgan the other day, for fuck's sake.
Dude.
Is the exact opposite.
I ignored them for years, and that's done nothing.
I want to say, okay, maybe I did come off a bit hot, like right fresh off the fryer. Okay, I get it. Hello, everyone. I hope everybody's having a good day. But I'm not saying that like I'm not being sarcastic to you, Jasper. I am genuinely saying hello to everybody. I was hot off the press there, but we were talking before the stream started, and I forgot that we weren't live. So yes, hello everyone, and welcome to the stream.
we could have taken should have taken a little bit more pause. We'll have a barrier there.
I also feel like with the question from before, if we wanted to make content and easy content at that about like Chuddy stuff, there is a lot of channels out there that are making videos that we could respond to. There are plenty of content creators that are making similar content to Nerdrotic and Critical Drinker, even making content about us, right? But they aren't that big. And this is not to say that like, oh, if you don't have subscribers, you're not relevant. It's not like that. But it's if we make videos on a video or a channel that says things that we heavily disagree with, that we think could be problematic, but it has basically no reach, the best that we could do is give them attention, which could give them more reach. And then that would be a bad thing.
Yeah.
So let's see. Pista. That's a good question, but we can actually hear from the frog's mouth himself. I have a clip here.
Oh gosh, what is this clip?
8136. Who's the bigger homosexual, Az or Eric DeBunks? Eric DeBunks is way more of a man.
True.
And Eric DeBunks is a literal homosexual. We talk about that all the time. Yes,
that's true. That's true.
And Eric has a pretty good sense of humor. Eric DeBunks.
I do, actually.
He does.
I call him a literal homosexual because it's funny. It reminds me of like
it's also true.
Days. Back in the 1950s, like they would go, "This person is a homosexual," and it was a way of saying they can't be trusted with government secrets.
Yeah.
This person in the State Department is a homosexual. They are a homosexual. So I like to declare that Eric DeBunks is a literal homosexual, as if to say he cannot be trusted with State Department secrets or your DMs. So don't DM
probably
him.
Couldn't. I haven't
he will share.
And look, I'll be honest, Mark.
That,
this is actually better, quote unquote, better homophobia than he used to do on a regular basis.
That's true.
That's fucked up to say, but like it is.
Yeah, I don't really find I don't take any of this like personally offensive. This is
honestly compared to a lot of the other parts of the internet, he uses the word literally better than
because it's appropriate here. He's using it accurately.
Yeah. I'm the type of person who will say literally to something that is absolutely not literally.
Yep.
But I wholeheartedly agree with him that Az is a much bigger homosexual than I am, and that's
true.
I'll agree with that.
He's definitely you're more of a man than him, for sure. And you do have a better sense of humor. You're also smarter. You're more handsome too, if I may say.
Oh, I appreciate it.
You got a better sense of dress and style and fat. Everything. It's all.
I've been loving your drip photos on Twitter.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think that's fair. You're comparing him to Az, and frankly, like DJ does have great drip, but like
I appreciate it. I also don't think we've seen Az's entire body. I think we've only ever seen Az from the shoulders up. To be completely
because
honest.
We're not ready for it.
We're not prepared. Yeah.
No.
Oh, I'm
Make a
definitely not
comic.
ready for
Make
that.
for me. Make a comic. I wouldn't even know where to begin. Like, to be
No.
honest. So I guess I could get involved with Rippa's. What is it? Rippa's End. Let me say
Yeah,
that
you
right.
can get all up in Rippa's End.
Yeah.
They'll need some diversity.
Yeah.
No, it's just funny because in the next clip, he's like, we talk about it all the time. It's like, yeah, you do talk about Eric being gay all the time, like more than anybody else does. It's weird how much they talk about it.
Well, you know what? The reality is, it makes me
It's
think
almost like they don't have a proper. I was just gonna say it's almost like they don't have a good a counter argument to your stuff.
Oh yeah, I actually saw there was a clip from speaking of as and Eric July where they were talking about how Iceman. We talked about this thing. I think we mentioned it or mentioned to you the other day where they were saying that everything about Iceman revolves around him being gay now. Since he came out in the comics, and the fact that they believe, like I see it in my comments too, that everything I do revolves around that part of my life. The fact that they see that in me explains to me why they see that in characters in comics, because that is all they see. A lot of these guys, that's the extent of how far they know.
I don't know your life day to day, but I'm going to take your word for it. But Iceman, just had a mini series during the Fall of X era, and it literally centered around the whole Fall of X storyline and the fact that he was on the run from Orcus and they're trying to hunt him down. Now, the fact that he is gay and has a guy that he's kind of, I don't know what their status officially is in there or whatever, but like he's part of it. That's in there, but it's definitely not what it revolves around. So it's weird. Like they don't actually read comics.
This is a joke that I made in several streams that I would work on a comic. I absolutely would love to do it. I'm not a writer though. I'm an artist. I draw. So if I were to work on a comic, I would probably need someone to actually come up with a story.
I can write.
So maybe we should do something. Yeah.
I mean, like literally, like once. Now I'm going to say literally every fucking sentence. If the whole this whole grift that I'm doing on this channel and stuff that we do together, if that ever dies down, that's what I'm going to do is turn to making comics. I've got some ideas, but I'd be down to talk about ideas with you as well. So
yeah, I think it would be cool, and then we can contact Rippaverse and get some Brazilian people to help with the coloring and.
3D assets, fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Actually, I have I was working. I think I've shown this before. I've got a painting here that I've been working on. Let me turn on my camera.
Have them 3D assets.
Ooh.
Anyway, here's one of my paintings. So this is me. It's a sketch that I did and then painted it. So
nice.
That's you. That looks like the Flash.
Yeah. It's a self-portrait. And the Silver Surfer back there also is
nice. Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, the Silver Surfer is fucking awesome.
Yeah. I mean, Wait, I could draw, but
are we just gonna skip past the fact that DJ is the Flash? Like I feel like we skipped past that pretty quickly.
Oh, we're leaving cameras on. All right, I'm here.
That's.
I mean, I figured. I cleaned up my room for this.
Oh, did you? So yeah, I could work on a
most
comic, but
definitely
my comic would be. I need somebody to write for me because I'm not. I can come up with a story, but I'm not good with dialogue. So
I gotta put our brains together.
I guess camera's off now. The only one on now.
My camera still does not work. I'm trying to get it fixed.
So what happened with your camera, Turf?
I don't know. It just doesn't want to connect to my computer anymore.
I have an extra one here. I'll just I'll send it over quickly.
Oh, you'll send through the empathy link. Thank you.
He's right
so
above
anyway,
you. Just pass it up.
All right, hold on. Yeah, here we go. Like I said.
Oh yeah. All right. Thank you. All right, got it.
Get hooked up.
That's been known for a while, though. I mean, we can talk about that, but like, there's no reason to believe that's what it was, because that's been known for a while, and it also, I don't believe, was like a nude OnlyFans.
No, it was a thirst trap.
No, it was a tasteful OnlyFans.
Yeah, it was just like gym selfies and stuff like that. Nothing bad, but
I'm pretty sure he had it at least before, at least while he was hired. Like it's yeah.
I don't know if this was this going to be a topic today at all. Were you going to talk about
a little bit? I think if we got to it, yeah. I mean, I figure people are talking about it. I mean, we at least need to address the fact that Chuds are definitely going to grift over this.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
I haven't looked into it to see what they're saying, but they're definitely going to use this to be like,
oh yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah. Which one of you was it who called me a homosexual? Hold on.
I think it was EVS, and then I just doubled down on it. So yeah, Bo DeMaio, the showrunner. This guy does a lot. He's writer, producer. He does so much stuff. But he was connected to the Moon Knight series. He's connected to the upcoming Blade movie, or he was. I don't know if that's still the case. You know, obviously he's worked on 2 seasons of X-Men 97. They were halfway through season 3 when this happened, and just fired. I don't. Right before the show comes out, there has to be something extremely bad that has happened. That's why I don't think it was just OnlyFans, because that would have been a simple thing. They probably would have been like, you have to get rid of that. Like, and I'm pretty sure he would have done it, or at least
the last thing you want is negative publicity, like one of your main creators being fired like a week before a show or something premieres.
Yeah.
So it has to be something worse than they had to go, okay, we're going to have to take the hit of that publicity because that's better than whatever it was that they would have happened if they didn't fire him.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I said in my video, I don't think it's because Rogue's ass wasn't juicy. I mean, I don't think that's the reason why.
I mean, I had a theory that based on. Sorry.
I was just gonna say I can guarantee you that the grift will in general be like they fired him for being woke or whatever, and they'll just you know what all the
so then the show won't be woke, right?
The narratives against it have been weak as fuck. They'll just say those were the narratives that got him fired, and that'll be their grift. No.
It would have made much more sense if there was an issue with him being woke, if they would have just like let the show come on with him being involved and then just fired him after the season was over. Firing him before the season started seems like there's something catastrophic has happened.
Possibly, yeah.
I mean,
it
or
is
there's just
weird.
Abuse scenario or something, you know. Because, like, I mean, I thought that it could be something because dude's been facing constant bullshit from chuds for a couple of years now.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, it's gotten much heavier in the last weeks or whatever, but he's been dealing with it for a while. I mean, like you could find videos where they're talking about him over like a year ago because, you know, oh, he's a gay black man, so it's going to be about a gay black man. That's actually part of my my video that's coming out next week, by the way.
Okay.
Is like John F. Trent in his video, one of his videos, he's like, yeah, so, you know, here's where it's confirmed. He says it's from his perspective as a gay black man, so that's what it's going to be about is gay and yeah, anyway, you'll see.
So I will say also one of the big differences between like I think people in our space versus like the more conservative space in this regard is if it comes out that he did something awful, I don't think we're going to see a bunch of people defending him. You know what I mean? Like I can pretty much guarantee if he did something bad, people are going to hold him accountable for
it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's the thing is you know, people came in the comments on my video and they were like, oh, you know, he did this, that, and the other, but then you'll defend him or you're defending him. First of all, I didn't defend him in my video because I don't know what he did. Can't defend somebody for something when I don't know what happened. The other thing is that they don't want to receive royalties. How does that work? Would that work? Because he's worked on 2 seasons.
He's already worked on 2 seasons.
Even if he was fired, he would get royalties unless there's some sort of weird clause in his contract.
I would think it would be illegal.
Guy on, he's going to work on 5 seasons next week. Jesus,
he's worked on 2.5 seasons already. So I don't. I could see if they didn't air, like if they didn't air the stuff he had worked on, maybe.
Yeah.
But animation is not easy. Like it's not like a TV show where you can just go and do reshoots. Like they'd have to redo the whole thing and that would not be easy. So I don't think that's the case. I think, look, I'm just going to put this out there and let the universe take it as it will. We're not going to find out before the show comes out. Disney's not going to release any news about like, this is why we fired him. They're not going to do that. And he's deleted all of his social media, probably because of the fact that he knows that this is going to be an issue. So I think it is definitely something big, but I have no clue what it is. And I don't even want to assume. I see people speculating that it's something to do with like SA and you know, this, that, maybe, I don't know, you know, if it is the OnlyFans, that would be the lightest fucking punishment. Like I can't imagine losing your entire job as a showrunner over that, especially when there was nothing in it. Maybe it was.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that'd be weird. And it's not like the OnlyFans was a new thing, so that'd be weird if it was that.
Well, imagine you standing your ground on your OnlyFans when you're about to have one of the biggest cartoons launch. That would be extremely dumb. Extremely dumb.
Yeah. So, well, with that said, Turf has not seen the YAIRA trailer. Should we watch that? Or?
Yeah, we can.
Listen, I don't believe you guys that it's that bad. All right, I think
we should just watch. Let's watch the whole thing straight through without stopping and let Turf just take it in because we paused it. I think we should just let the floodgates open and Turf, you can experience it as somebody watching it on
Cool. And I can work on my my blinds being all fucked up right now and messing up my lighting. Well, in the meantime,
listen, I think this is going to be the biggest movie of 2024. Mark my words. The true Marvel killer.
I mean, it's not actually going to be a movie. That's the thing.
Wait, what? Wait, what is it though?
He released a Coke. He released a Coke video 30 minutes ago. It's a 3-minute video where he tries to make excuses for this trailer. So we might want to watch that on stream.
Oh, nice. Wait, so what's this a trailer for? Is it one of those like YouTube videos that's it's a trailer but for nothing?
No. This is the trailer for the comic, but it's a live action.
Oh. So it's not a trailer for a longer live action thing.
I think if it would have been well received, they definitely would have considered it. But it's been very divisive. Okay. So I think
I will. Let's just go ahead and agree though that if this gets copyright claimed, let's all of us cut this out of the stream on our channel, please, so that we're not giving Eric July any fucking money.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh, I'm not.
Oh, well, I'll just buy it. You can take me to court.
I want to see your son for a bit.
All right, here we go.
All right, let's do it.
Okay. So far, so good. That's it.
Take it in, Turf.
Yeah. Wow.
Absorb.
Satanic imagery. Cool.
Yeah. Good on him. Oh, okay. This wasn't even the.
I actually think the cross is Christian imagery. So.
Okay. This is good cinematography.
It's gonna be tough.
It's all downhill from here, Turf.
Wait, was that
body to do things that
this is Eric
like me
yeah,
be able
as
to
Isom.
Do. But unfortunately for me, blind ain't one of them.
Don't follow me.
Don't worry,
that wasn't Eric as the actor.
No, yeah, he's just the
we
voice.
feel is going to be an undeniable asset here at Projexus. Won't you please join me in welcoming her to our team?
Projexus.
Dr. Sally Rodell.
Get ready.
Oh, is this YAIRA?
Adopt or die.
Secure the area until AlphaCore can arrive.
Solari! Save us! It is the truest law of the earth. Very few things have the ability to survive the test of time. Though we may not be around to see them to their fullest fruition, what we struggle to create now will be the triumphant echoes from the past.
I don't think furthest fruition is a fucking.
To furthest fruition.
AlphaCore will be here in 5 minutes.
Wait, people thought this accent was
5
new.
minutes?
Some people did,
Thanks
yeah.
for the heads up.
Oh yeah, girl boss.
I was here. I lived. I am still here.
That is awful, that delivery. Oh my god.
I am.
We're about ready to get some epic flying.
Zoom.
Dreams chilled.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, mama.
It is that struggle that is the friction of creation. I would like to thank Mr. Eusebio for allowing me the opportunity to discover and create alongside my esteemed colleagues at Projexus. Thank you.
Looks like Pro Jesus without the X.
Yeah. Oh, wait, it does, yeah.
An
Yeah, I didn't realize that before.
Wait, so are these guys like the bad guys? Or?
The good guys are the bad guys.
I think everybody in this world are bad guys, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean,
Nice.
Also, I think that guy's supposed to be Musk. You know,
yeah.
The guy
got the cowboy hat, and the shirt and stuff.
Okay, that makes
Oh,
yeah.
maybe.
Every take is the first take.
So he's a villain, I guess.
You know what, dude? Oh, you're fucking right. They're gonna do. I guarantee. Yep. There's gonna be live action variant covers, and it's gonna be. He's gonna save a bunch of money on it.
Oh God, it's gonna be awful.
It's gonna be awful.
Isn't it?
It'll be a
She's
struggle.
well studied, Jerry, but if you want to question her credentials,
That guy's hair is great.
That's not what I was saying.
Yeah.
It's just an unusual area
natural
of
hair.
expertise to pair with biology.
This is such a weird shot. What the?
From my understanding.
Just seeing like the conversation in the background of these fucking.
I have to point
two
this out
people
because
just-
as he said that
that's
just there,
great.
she was like, "Oh, archaeology is such a weird thing to field to mix with biology."
What?
It's literally an actual field. Yeah.
Yeah, where you literally mix them.
It's so weird to just put those two things together, except for in this literal field where they're put together.
And also, if you thought about it for a sec,
anyway,
that's crazy.
Is an unusual woman. Don't be threatened, Jerry. She's on our side.
Oh,
Congratulations.
masculinity. Attack on
Kind
masculinity.
of woke.
Congratulations.
Look at how she towers and. That's awesome.
Well, yeah, she's a girl boss.
She's the girl boss. Oh, that's great. Good on Eric, man.
Nothing wrong with the girl boss.
Pro Jesus.
Pro Jesus. And I hope they're the bad guys.
You took that like a chomp.
Chomp! You chomp!
It was meant to be a death blow.
It was meant to. Okay, this is.
Yeah.
I love this.
Oh God. Oh God.
Yeah.
Listen, I just want to say, they were trying to get Asylum to make the Isom movie, but Asylum turned it down. It was too low budget.
There is so much to unpack from this fucking trailer. I mean,
Also, if you've if the same person or people have directed, written, and produced, don't they usually write that together instead of saying written and directed by and produced by? I felt like that was.
So if you skip to
That's
the
a
end
good-
of this, there's a shot of YAIRA in her costume, I believe, like an actual picture of her in her costume.
Oh, a little end credit scene.
I thought there was. Did they take that out? Is it not in here?
Maybe come in here.
No, I guess they took it out. There it is.
Oh,
right
there's.
there. Yeah.
Wow.
You know what? That honestly doesn't look too bad.
No,
it does,
so
but it's
the
also
costume
really
and
dark.
stuff don't look bad, and actually in the making of trailer, the costume looks like so I will say it's like one step down from like CW stuff. So
Yeah.
the costume, it looks like they spent a little bit of money making the costume.
Yeah, I hope you guys
it would also
enjoyed
make
the
sense.
MCU
Like,
while it lasted. It's done.
yeah, it would also make sense if they're wanting to do more with the live action, like make more covers like that. It would make sense for the costume to be at least pretty well made. Like,
Yeah.
spent some budget on it. But listen, I mean, I don't know what you guys were saying. That was
Morgan Boot
incredible.
actually have those muscles? That's impressive.
Yeah, I mean, if that's actually the actress, holy shit.
It actually does look like Mortal Kombat. Now that you mention, like a Mortal Kombat, like the
does, yeah.
OG Mortal Kombat. Yeah.
Is this an AI thing and we're just thinking it's a real actor?
No. There's in the making of, you see them like doing stuff
Yeah.
with her, and so, but it's a lot of post production work on it. Which, by the way, the post production team that worked on this, you're not going to believe this. Like the people involved with it, which is like, was it Purple Dog or something? I can't remember the name of it, but they've worked on so much stuff over the years.
Well, so is the director. He's been the third assistant producer or director on like a bunch of stuff.
You talking about Joe Gold?
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody involved with this is an industry veteran. Like we're talking about people that have been in the business at least 15 to 20 years. And that's why it's so shocking that it looks the way it looks, because if everyone on set is competent, capable people, and it still came out bad, where does that fall? Like, who is responsible for that?
The material?
Well, yes, the material, but I would say the directors also are responsible for like the final product.
And also,
well, there's a reason he's a third assistant director on so much stuff, and not just the director. Yeah.
Eric was actually there. He did nothing in the behind the scenes. He just stood around and watched.
Do not say he did nothing, my man. Okay, he had the monologue of a century. That was he enticed me there.
So
it fully felt like, or it sounded like he had recorded that in his own bedroom. That did not sound studio recorded.
Well, here's the funny thing about that. In Canada, in order to get the tax breaks from Canada to save all that money for filming in Vancouver, which is where this was filmed at, in order to do that, by law, you have to be in Canada when you record. Like he couldn't record it anywhere else. He had to go there to do the voiceover because they will not allow you to do that out of the country. Literally, that one thing could cause you to lose your tax break.
So that was that important to him, or he just fucking did it anyway.
bro,
because
Canada,
because the tax
to
break
do
was
that.
more. The tax break was probably more than the cost of a flight to Canada, most likely.
Yeah.
I wanted to point out,
One thing I want people-
nobody buy this shit that's on the screen right now. But also, look, they cracked $1 million, right?
It's like 1.1, I think. Right
Pretty
now.
impressive. It's
Good job.
however,
Not sus at all. No.
I mean, it's kind of obvious what's going on, and it's just like it's nothing illegal. I don't think it's nothing inherent. I mean, just brazenly dishonest. But it's like they have a $999 package where you just get everything that you see on the screen here,
Which is
plus,
what
like,
Az ordered. Az spent $1,000 on this. So
$1,000 for this. Wait, so
And then-
the
and then, like,
unique covers
yesterday
are
on
they
the
just
screen, Az
the same comic book, but just
Yeah.
4 different cover? Oh.
Yep.
Az said something like, oh, there's a new comic out, and Eric had to correct him, like, it's not out yet. So he's real invested in the whole thing. But like the Dokkumon cards, right? You guys remember when we looked at those?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
was
was
a classic initiative moment.
I also somebody pointed out the Dokkumon cards were supposed to be a limited thing.
That's where I was going with it. Yeah,
and
they
they're
were supposed to
selling
be
them again.
limited to the first campaign only. Here they are.
If they make a trading card game, I am so buying that.
And apparently the price went up $75 for them. So
Okay. Also, something really interesting about this, and I wish Chris Bacon were in the chat because he's done a lot of numbers on this, but I've read up some of the people talking about his analysis.
Mm-hmm.
They shut down the normal store so that everything in the store now counts towards this campaign. That includes like merch that's not even related to YAIRA.
What?
Oh.
No, that's
so like
that's
the
the thing,
Rippa magazine. It counts.
That sounds
towards
very
YAIRA.
honest.
I was confused by that. I was like, why is he shutting down the store just for the campaign? And then I realized, because all sales are now going to be reported under the campaign. That's it.
Mhm. Sandman, I believe they're the same. I don't think he's announced any new cards. I think they're the same cards as far as I know. Because
And did you say, Bob, they went up $75?
I could have sworn, I'm looking on here. I could have sworn the cards were 175 last I looked. The prices actually look different than last time I looked.
Oh, they got me fucking bottlenecked on the site here. That's funny.
Yeah, they do. They're doing that now. Yeah, it's weird. Several people have talked about it. I don't know if you're familiar with Mr. H Reviews, who I'm not a big fan of.
Yeah.
But he was complaining about this. He's like, why the fuck am I sitting in a queue for something that's already all the early access is over? I shouldn't be sitting in a queue.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, that's a pretty long fucking campaign.
Yep. And the comics are not printed yet this time. It's pretty much been
Oh, so
confirmed
it's
that he has
actually
to print the
crowdfunding this
comics.
time.
So he won't
was
say
always
that publicly,
crowdfunding.
though. He won't say that publicly. But several people have pointed out that the comics are not printed yet.
Okay, I don't actually see the original Dokkumon cards on here anymore. Now there's deck 2 for 75.
So
yeah, Jasper, this is what Chris Bacon was doing. Yeah, in order to get the actual comic book sold, you have to add up the total sales of the
So
books.
there is do you know about the kind of thing that you can do with the website to see what their real-time sales are?
Mhm.
You know about that?
I know about it. Yeah. Why? What's
I just didn't know if anybody else knew about it.
Yeah, if you go into your cart, you can see how many items are left on the shelves. But that's probably how they know the comics aren't made yet, because it's probably not showing a number.
So
most likely.
look, all right. Total purchasers. Wow. So 7,445, and yet over $1 million. So why is it like that? Because you have people that are spending, I think the average order, at least whenever I heard from Chris Bacon last a couple days ago, it was like $164 per person was what they were spending.
Yeah.
Yes, and so it's not just people buying a comic book, and he's done this since the first campaign. He's done this fucking grift where it's like, oh, this comic book's made of $3 million, whatever the hell. It's like, well, it's not just a comic book though, is it? It almost certainly would not get to that point if it was just the comic book, and you know that.
I have to give them credit. However, they decided to do this layout to push this over $1 million. It worked for them. It did work, and that's all that matters to their fans. They're just going to scream, "Oh, it's made over $1 million!" But this campaign is different from previous campaigns, and the packages are different. So
yeah, I feel like some like serious money went into it from like not just the average people, because this is an average of $150 per person, and that's just not realistically something that the average person is putting into, even if they really like Eric July and stuff. I have a feeling there is some. Yeah.
Well, I mean, Gary Nerdrotic
was
Nerdrotic was on stream saying, "Oh, I bought this comic, I bought that comic." Shut the fuck up, Gary. You bought the most expensive package. Give me a break. You paid for the most expensive package.
I just want to point this out. There are four covers for this book, and one of them is the $50 one. That is the foil embossed cover. And do you guys want to see what that cover is?
Yeah.
It is literally the ugliest one there is.
And that's
like
Graham
I actually
Nolan
think the cover art for Yaira's been better. But like this one is just, what is this?
So that's Graham Nolan's art, and I've seen a lot of people trying to like say it's it's a great job or whatever, but compared to the other covers, I don't think this is the best one.
No, yeah, I think the best cover I'm seeing is not that one.
Probably cover A I lean towards, but this one's the worst easily, and it's the most expensive.
Yeah, because it's got Graham's name attached to it.
I think
that's why.
Cover C. No, wait. Which one am I looking at here? Sorry, number D. Cover D.
Wasn't Ethan's cover the special cover for the second ISOM? Wasn't that the one? That's the one that made the most money for that campaign, I believe. So.
Okay, so YAIRA number 1, signed and graded, out of stock. Let's make note of that. That's sorry, that's cover A, I guess.
Yeah.
B and C and D are still available, so we should never probably see any more of those number 1s. Yeah. Wait, did he say they were campaign exclusives? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not totally sure. That thing you highlighted, Dane, though, we kind of skipped through that about it being for mature audiences. I thought his content was always going to be made for everybody to read. I didn't think he was going for like.
Well, that was before he hired the fucking the Vomit Gore twins.
Yeah, it's weird.
It seems like everybody that like has any named artist that he gets, kind of,
Yeah, that's been the issue the whole time. I mean, even Cliff Richards, who does the 3D assets or whatever, he's done better artwork for other companies. Joe Bennett, who is arguably done the best artwork the Rippaverse has had, has done better work.
The guy I actually was a fan of prior to coming out as a fucking anti-Semite.
I mean, you don't have to do anything more. Look, the one thing that this trailer, this live action trailer, told me about a lot of these guys is one of two things. First of all, we know they're grifters. So the ones out there that know better are just going to lie and phone it in for Eric. The other thing is that maybe Eric himself, and probably maybe some other people associated with this community or whatever, don't know the difference between good and bad. So they're getting grifted by people they're paying to do all this work because they think that, oh, I've got Chuck Dixon, I've got Graham Nolan, I got EVS, I got Saska Sisters, I got all these people working for me that are big names that are giving him the bare minimum and then charging him a premium for it. It's really fucking weird.
Well, I just want to stress, if like the Marvels or She-Hulk came out and it had a trailer of this quality, do you think these guys would shut up about it? My God.
Well,
I mean, look at what's on screen right now. That moment right there would get any movie that that Marvel or whatever put out, like they would get just, oh, look what they're doing to men. She pushed a man aside.
Absolutely.
I think it's probably signed by the Saska sisters. Signed in Vomit. I'm sorry, I can't help it. I can't help but make Vomit jokes about them.
Well, it looks like Eric July's in his comic is gonna struggle.
It's gonna struggle.
It's gonna struggle.
Hopefully he takes it like a chomp.
Perhaps chilled.
I want to share something. So this is from the making of. There's a couple lines here from the Saska sisters. We're just gonna watch this one little bit.
Okay.
But if just replace the Saska sisters with any woman that has made media in the last 5 years, and if they said what the Saska sisters are saying here about the stuff they're working on, they would have been completely blasted and chastised. Okay, so here we go. Let me share this to the screen. My mouse is going crazy here. Hold on. All right.
They've made Regurgitated 2 or something like that.
Yeah. All right. So this is just a very small snippet. The making of is like 8 minutes longer than the actual trailer was, because it's literally, this was supposed to be a victory lap. This was supposed to be a victory lap for him, because he thought everyone was going to love this. And there's also a 3-minute cope video of him sort of making excuses for it now, which I think is funny. Anyway, just listen to this little snippet from the Saskas and tell me if this was them, if they were making this clip for Marvel or DC, this would have not set off alarm bells for them. Here we go.
Working on YAIRA has been amazing. To be gifted the opportunity to be her writers, I consider that we are her nannies. Eric July gave birth to her, and then he's like, I need a strong female influence times two.
Whoa.
Huh.
Yep. Could you imagine if that were said by anyone else in the industry? What would be the response to that from Az and Gary and everybody?
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I can't stop imagining Eric July giving birth to YAIRA right now, and it's really upsetting.
Oh God.
It's a weird fucking pairing, honestly.
Like if the writers of She-Hulk said this, right?
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
These people would be going insane for it and making hundreds of videos on it.
I mean, could you imagine if the director of the next Star Wars movie said something about she's happy to be the first woman to direct a Star Wars movie?
Oh, imagine
I'm
that.
sure they'd be reasonable
Yeah.
about that, right?
Imagine if that had happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did want to respond to this real quick. Sorry, it is because it's about me, my channel. But like, yeah, I want to have Richard Pace on. He had emailed me, which I didn't think he ever did, but then I found it in my spam folder, and I was like, oh shit. And I haven't actually sent him an official invitation to come on yet, but I should do that. I'll do that today. I definitely want to speak with him. I've been reading The Doom That Came to Gotham. It's pretty good. So yeah. So Richard Pace is he's a legit comics artist, and he shows up in chat now and then, and he used to be friends with Ethan.
Yeah,
used to work with him and stuff. Might have some stuff to share. We'll see.
I want to also point out in that that making of, which I painfully set through, the video of me reacting to it will be up on my channel tomorrow.
Okay.
But the Lucer Valentine stuff was weird. You remember that video that they made where they were talking about him? They're like laying on the bed and talking about Lucer. Did you guys see that? Okay, so there's a similar, not them laying on a bed, but there's a similar moment in this making of where they're talking about Eric July, and they're like talking about the Black Widow comic, and they said after Eric praised, I guess, the first issue, which I think he read well after the comic had been out. They were like, every time we write something now, we wonder if Eric July will like it or not. Like talking about when he reviewed their Black Widow, they said they had Eric in mind when they were writing issues for other companies, if Eric would, to make sure Eric would like it. I'm like, that's really weird.
That is super weird.
Well, maybe they think he's a beautiful person.
I don't know.
Could be
maybe.
So this is a scene from one of their classy films.
Yeah, right before they took it like a chump. The behind the scenes where someone sat all the actors down and told them to heap unrealistic praise on Eric July. Yeah, so that's another thing about it, Ivor, is there's not a lot of talking about the making of the YAIRA trailer. It's literally every actor is talking about how successful Eric July is. That's
yeah,
it's pretty funny.
And it's like,
look at
the
this
actors have all been hired to do a job, like yeah, they're getting paid, and the failure of this whole thing, it's pretty much on Eric July's shoulders.
Do we want to watch the 3-minute Cope video now that we're?
I am down.
I mean, it's very, very. It's like,
is it very?
Honestly, it's kind of like Eric July has made nothing but Cope videos in a way for like months now.
This is particularly bad because so the last 24 hours, him and his minions have been on social media sort of trying to play defense for this trailer. And in this video, he sort of pulls back a little bit and he's like, oh, but we didn't spend a lot of money and we only spent this amount of time filming it and everything. This is the first chink in the armor of Eric. It's a very unique video. He doesn't normally come out and make excuses for something that isn't successful.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
it's
like, wasn't there a bunch of people on Twitter saying like, oh, how are you comparing this to like this trailer to Marvel, right? Like, this is an independent studio when the whole point of the Rippaverse was to be competitive with Marvel and DC and stuff.
Yeah. Well, there's actually a clip from last year, if you guys remember, where he said that he wasn't trying to compete with the MCU because they're a comic book company, and then he comes out with a live action trailer that's clearly inspired by, you know, CW / like TV Marvel, pretty much.
Yeah.
He definitely wants to 100%. He wants to compete with them.
I should have had this banner on the whole time we were talking about this from now on.
Yeah.
You know, of course, whenever he rips off our videos and posts them, our awesome clips of us saying awesome things and puts them on Twitter, he'll probably cut that out. But you know, still.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. We should actually put it like right on the like. Actually, when we talk about them, we should make our avatar say that Rippaverse Goalpost is Eric July. Like, just to
Now, I kind of assumed Eric was a fan of us looking at the Rippaverse Goalpost account because, like, we just made
it makes us look very good.
It's almost like it's initiative Goalpost at this point. That's pretty much what it is.
Yeah, I love when you guys. I don't know which of you, but I've just seen like some retweets where it's like you're addressing it directly to Eric July, which is just it is. It's just
like
him.
the other day, I saw that he had so in my comment section under one of the videos recently, some chud was actually have screenshots. I kind of wanted to look at that at some point if we have time, but this chud was talking shit, making claims about me grifting, and I'm like, can you please explain how I'm grifting? And he's like, doesn't offer anything substantive. And I'm like, look, man, just come onto my show Friday and you can have my show to lay out your case. I won't even interrupt you. Just make your case. And he's like, no, I'm not doing that. And I was just like, I got fucking frustrated. And I just made a pinned comment where I'm like, look, I've offered this so many times. I keep offering it. And all you guys want to do is talk shit and make weird claims in comments. And from now on, I'm just going to delete you from the channel. And that I'm not silencing you because I'm literally offering you a better platform. But yeah, and then I saw that Rippaverse Goalpost had posted about that I had done that.
I did see that. Yeah, I saw
You're
that.
fucking looking at my comments of my videos and posting about it. Like,
It's really it's weird behavior, to be honest. Like, because this is an account that exists solely to hype up Eric July, going through other people's accounts and like trolling their comments, even when it's not about Eric July. That's really weird.
Yes, it is.
Really also, I've said this before, talking about how people look and how how much money people make when you've got like no face to attach to your account is also very weird. So okay, so the first part of this, he talks about the YAIRA statue. If you've been looking at the campaign, I think it's like 2 million. There's a YAIRA there's a YAIRA statue, right? I guess some people thought that meant that the statue would be included in the campaign because it is unlocked at 2 million, and that it would come out, it would be in the stores.
That's what happens when you have a bunch of fucking illiterate people in your audience.
Yeah, so he has to clarify that at the beginning. But it's kind of funny listening to him talk, because remember, he doesn't want to hold people's hands, but he wants to clarify this. I think probably because he believes there might be a legal issue with it, so he clarifies that first, and then he gets into the trailer, which I think is funny. By the way, he should not have even mentioned anything about the trailer. This video should have never came out, but here we are. Let's go here.
For starters, we're getting through the benchmark goals that you all breezed right through. One thing people are excited for is the YAIRA statue that gets unlocked should we hit $2 million in sales. This is not something that we already have ready, though we've
Also, you mean it's like a crowdfunding situation with this?
I mean, word on the grapevine is they have
it's always been crowdfunding.
They have
It's
like
such a weird
the model for it that they're going to build the.
Yeah, so yeah, I've seen this publicly on Twitter. That there was a YAIRA statue that was commissioned like a while ago that never came to happen, and it's almost like maybe there's a legal reason that he has to bring it back. I'm wondering if that.
One thing I also want to stress is that there's absolutely nothing wrong with crowdfunding. The issue why it's being brought up is because if you bring up that's a crowdfunding thing, Eric and his fans will start arguing that it's not crowdfunding when it obviously is. And it's just a weird argument.
I mean, it wasn't before. I'll grant that before it was not. It was just he already had the shit made. Now it is.
Well, I mean, already having the shit made, he's still raising money from a crowd. It's crowdfunding.
Well, I mean, but not really, because presumably he's already paid for them if he's got them made already, right? So like they're paid for, even if he doesn't sell.
I think Isom 1 was he invested money into the comic before he put it up for sale. I think at least for the first comic book. But I've seen people argue about like whether it's crowdfunding or not. I don't really know the actual like. I'm not going to pretend that I
guess the way I look at it is, if it doesn't get funded, does the book get made?
Right.
You know, and I would assume not. That'd be pretty silly.
Yeah. All right. Here we go.
Yeah.
We've had some interesting conversations about this. Do not anticipate that this would be added to the campaign and shipped with the campaign items. We're just saying that we would commit to putting one out, and it's something that would be delivered at a much later date.
Much later date.
Whoa.
How much later would that be? You would think that if he reached the goal, it would say on there to be delivered, you know, fourth quarter this year or something. Like, why would it just be some weird, you know, anomalous time? Yeah.
I'm not going to say that the pre-order for it couldn't possibly be announced before this campaign ends, but we're not promising that. But whatever we do put up for sale is going to be legit.
So my question is, do you think this is him trying to push for 2 million by talking about the statue? Do you think that's the purpose of him bringing it up? Because I don't really see any reason to discuss that unless he thinks that people are just really stupid. And they don't understand how that works. It sounds to me like he's trying to sort of push for the 2 million.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't doubt it.
I mean, I'm sure he is. I'm sure.
This is a good point from Lucifer here. Honestly, just fucking make the comic, dude. If you got confidence in what you're doing,
yeah,
clearly he does. Just make the comic. You know, get a gauge of, you know, and print up however many you think you're going to sell. It's not a big deal. He could print some more if he needed to. You know.
Jasper here says that, where's it at? Eric's stretch goals are not clear. That's true. Usually trinkets and items are announced at milestones. He announced a statue as if backers will all receive. Okay, I kind of understand the confusion there. Like maybe people believe that if they purchased up to 2 million, they would, because nothing else there is a, like, I think everything in his stretch goals are things that he just like shares online. You know what I mean? Like unlock seeing the cover and unlock, you know, finding out who the artist is or whatever. I mean, without explicitly saying that the statue is not included in the campaign as an item, maybe people assume that they would get it if the stretch goal was hit. I mean, do you think that's fair?
You know, I really don't. I try not to put myself in the mind of a Rippaverse fan.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, maybe, maybe it's yeah. He is like, why is he trying to eat the mic? Is he eating a boom mic? Is that what's going on?
Yeah. I don't know. I would not put myself in HD if I had not been to the barbershop. I'm just gonna leave it there. Anyway, here we go. Now I think this is where he starts to talk about the trailer and make excuses for every single criticism he's had on the trailer.
Secondly, I want to clarify some things about the YAIRA #1 campaign trailer. It's not a trailer for an upcoming show or film that's in the works. This was done specifically to promote the comic book.
Okay, so that means we need to stop pretending that it's compared to anything else live action, because clearly it's just for the comic. So that means all criticism about it needs to go away right now.
And build some hype around it. It was shot on what is effectively a shoestring budget, and it only took us a day to shoot. There were a lot of favors called in to make this happen, and to put this into perspective, it costs only a fraction of what we've spent on our animations. Some people have mistakenly assumed that this is a glimpse of something that's going to be longer form, but this is a trailer for a comic book, not a.
So I don't see how that makes any difference. I don't think the criticism has ever been that it doesn't look good because of something connected to the comic. We talked about this when we did our video. It's not very clear that it's for a comic. So the confusion is on their shoulders because they didn't make it obvious. So nobody made that criticism thinking, oh, well, is this connected to a comic? Is it a live action TV show, a movie? I think a lot of people are just criticizing that it doesn't look good, and that the acting is bad, and the directing is bad. Like there's things in it that just aren't good. Are we supposed to grade it on a scale because the trailer is connected to a comic book?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like it. Like your criticism doesn't matter. But I mean, like Jasper says here, just dude, it honestly, when you think about it, like, why would you go so far out of your way to not show the thing you're trying to get people to pay for?
Right.
You know, just show the fucking comic.
Or I don't know, they're doing scenes in the trailer from the comic. Why not splash the comic page in the background and
There
then
you go,
show
yeah,
the live
that's a
action
great
thing
idea, actually.
superimposed over top of it or something like that?
That would work pretty well if it.
And you've got the costume. Just show her punching people in the suit. Like, why did you go through all the trouble of like recapping Isom 1 and I guess some of YAIRA 1?
Honestly,
Why
you
would-
know, actually, what your idea just now, DJ, about like showing the having splash panels like in between, like whenever it does that in that live action version, right? Then show the page. That would make the comic look really good because the fucking trailer looks like shit. So.
I also want to point out that now when you read the comic with YAIRA, all you're going to think about is that accent that she had. You can't get that out of your head. So nothing she does is going to seem like threatening because her accent is so ridiculous. And that's all you're going to hear. Like when I read a comic, when I was reading comics as a kid, you kind of assign what you think someone sounds like to that character. And then later on, you might have a cartoon or a movie or whatever. In this case, the teaser trailer, the live action teaser trailer came out before the comic did.
I still hear Patrick Stewart for Professor X, for example. You know.
Oh no!
I mean,
how will I
actually, a lot
overcome
of
this
when I read
struggle?
When I hear a lot of the X-Men, I hear a lot of the voice cast from the animated series.
True, yeah, that's a mix for me, depending on which one was more iconic in my mind.
So now forever YAIRA is going to have this like really bad accent now. So
I hate men.
No joke. The chick that she tried to murder with a punch, that actress actually did a pretty good job.
Well, everyone. Okay, so here's the thing: the YAIRA Morgan Boot, who plays YAIRA, is not an actress.
Right.
She's not involved with any unions or anything like that. She's friends with the Sastas, which is probably what Eric meant when he said I had to call in favors because they needed someone to actually play YAIRA. Everybody else on that set are industry veterans. Kia King, what is it? Andre Anthony, Marshall Bingham, who played Isom, is a stunt person that works on like Supergirl. He worked on the Predator film, Prey, I think. He's worked on other stuff. So everybody involved with this are industry veterans, except for YAIRA, your lead character.
Yeah. I was finding crazy that if you only have a day to shoot, that you choose to have your lead actress have an accent that they don't have.
Right.
Like that, it's gonna sound bad.
That doesn't even make any sense. Like, what?
Dude,
what?
Punisher meets like number one. Do you know who Wonder Woman is? Wonder Woman's pretty fucking badass. I don't know if you need a mix between Punisher and Wonder Woman. That's weird.
All right. Just if we're grading on a scale, like I think YAIRA is the coolest character in the Rippaverse. Like in terms of the way she looks.
Well, yeah,
but that's because she looks like
just you wait until Norfolk.
I know. She's a strong woman with colored hair, and so she's very much
guys. The Horseman is coming.
Oh, that's true. Wasn't there Dane? Do you remember this or Bob? Because I think we saw the clip, and I don't think Turf was here when we looked at it because Turf was gone for like 8 months. But there was a clip where Eric said that no one in the Rippaverse would have code names; that all of their names would be just their names, and that with Alpha Core, maybe that's the case. But then you have Avery, who is Isom, and now YAIRA is Sally Rodell.
Yep.
And Horseman is clearly not the guy's name. So did we retcon the Rippaverse characters not having superhero monikers? Like I wonder if
I don't remember saying that, but if he did, that'd be insane because
I have to find the clip. I have to find the clip, but yeah.
It really is ironic that, like you said, the coolest character in the Rippaverse is
the
like
most
the strong
Slavic
woman.
name ever, Sally Rodell.
Yeah, I'll have to say all the names in the Rippaverse are just awful. I don't know who. I guess Eric came up with all of them. They're bad. Like maybe Larry Shungite is one of the characters. Like who the fuck kind of name is that?
Hey, don't you disrespect Gooding.
Gooding.
Yeah.
And then Brian Solari, like I didn't realize that that's his superhero name, and it's like, oh my god, that's so cringe because he's obviously the Superman allegory, right? And it's like, so he gets his power from the sun, so he's Brian Solari because you hear the Soska fucking screaming, Solari, save us!
Yeah, and then there's other characters, the two like redneck guys from Alpha Core, the fire guy and the rock guy or whatever. I think their names also are trying to tie into their fucking powers or something, I believe. So I don't know.
Not seeing shit.
All right, here we go. Let's see what else he has to say.
A trailer for something longer form. We go about this completely differently if this was a film or a show, regardless of the budget.
How would you go about it differently? It's literally live action. Throw more money at it, maybe, I guess is what he means. That's really the only other thing you could do. Okay.
I love for us to do longer form animations and live actions and run it through our upcoming Rippaverse app. We have a
Oh yeah, that's right. They're doing a Rippaverse app, you guys. I wonder what that's going to be like. I wonder what that's going to be like. What are we going to get on a Rippaverse app? More links to the merch store?
Yeah, I was about ready to say
anybody
more
this applies to,
opportunities
real quick.
for merch.
Whoever this might apply to. Look, we might allow you in chat if you're a Nazi. We might allow you in chat if you're a domestic abuser, but not both. Okay, not both.
Oh, I missed something.
Well, listen, I will allow anybody in my chat, except if they're named John Del Rose.
Oh, okay.
Just a weird exception. I don't know. The name doesn't work.
I was watching Eric's neck beard over here. I missed it. Missed all that. All right, so here we go.
A lot of ideas in that regards, but at that point, it's a different ball game because then we're not making something that's for comic book hype. We'd be making something that's a little more self-contained. And
so, in other words, he's allowed to make a shitty live action trailer if it's connected to a comic book.
Yeah,
that's what he's saying here.
For how shitty it is. Yeah.
So I see a lot of people that are saying stuff like this, and like these are very fucking good observations and things to point out. And it's like in the video on Eric DeBunk's channel, I kind of said why that is. Like there's really just one goal with this stuff, and it's not to fucking make good comics that everybody knows and loves, and not to make whatever. It's literally just to create the obviously ideally they want actual cultural power, right? But if not, they want the appearance of cultural power, because then that theoretically could buy them actual cultural power. So they want to just appear like a legitimate fucking thing. And so that's why they're putting their fingers in every single pie whenever it seems like any rational business company would not be going after, like, why the fuck on your fourth comic book would you make a live action trailer for it? It doesn't make any goddamn sense. And it's just because he's trying to essentially make connections, get seen by, more eyes and whatnot. It's it's all just and we can actually talk about this too, because what were we talking about in the Discord yesterday, Bob, with the election year and whatnot? Fucking Nerdrotic and Drinker went on Piers Morgan, and they were just on Benny Johnson like 2 weeks ago or whatever, and it's like, I don't think any of that's a coincidence that it's in an election year, and they're really,
Mr. Eric July here talked to John Stossel about the fucking Oscars.
That's what it was. Yeah, it's fucking John Stossel.
Really? Well, it's also
first of all, why is Eric even talking about the Oscars? Why would you go to Eric July to talk about the Oscars?
Because he's an entertainment expert.
I mean, he doesn't even really talk about Oscar films. Like, it would be different if he were like a YouTube person that reviewed movies regularly, but he doesn't.
I'd say like Critical Drinker would probably be the most legit, and you can't see the air quotes when I say legit. But
that's
like,
you're right,
even
Bob.
he doesn't talk about Oscar movies.
I understand going to Critical Drinker for stuff around movies. I don't understand talking to Gary about that. I don't understand talking to Eric July about that. Those things don't make any sense. I don't even like the Critical Drinker, and it would make more sense for him to be on a stream talking about Oscar films than any of these guys. Does Eric July sit at home and watch the Oscars? How the fuck would he even know what the Oscars are about if he doesn't watch it? That's the thing. Asking these guys questions about stuff they don't watch doesn't make any fucking sense.
There's a reason, a very fucking specific reason, that if you look at all their channels, like 99.8% of their content is about shit that they don't like and how everything is bad and woke and stuff now. The same reason that Eric July is talking about the Oscars and saying that it's fucking bad and woke now. Their entire point is to make everybody hate things culturally. Like, they just want everybody to hate everything pop culture, because then they're disgruntled, then they're not fucking happy, they're blaming wokeness on everything. It's pretty clear, really, to me. It's like, it's a big scam.
So, see movies. I see this comment here. I respect your opinion. Me and my homie thought it looked cool. Are you talking about the YAIRA trailer? Because if you are, and I know you're going to think I'm asking this in quote unquote bad faith, but I'm not. What about it did you think looked cool? I'm very curious. Like, I want a serious answer. If this is a serious comment, give me a serious answer. What looked cool in that trailer?
I'd be genuinely interested if somebody liked it. Like, what did they like about it? Because
to me it looked like a bunch of derivative stuff, but I could be wrong.
It looked like shit to me, frankly.
Unironically, the cool thing to me was the her at the end. I didn't even know that was there till today, but like, yeah, just that one shot of her standing there looked pretty all right. You know, like it's fine.
Yeah, the shot at the end, yeah, that looked fine, but lots of shadows covering stuff up.
But just like everything in the Rippaverse, the cool shit is very minimal. Like, I want to read a comic book that has, like, he talks about like going back to the 90s, right? That's the era that he always speaks about, like the 90s. The 90s were extreme action comic books. Like, everything was fighting and guns and knives and pouches and stuff like that. These comic books do not reflect that.
No.
These read like novels. They read like young adult novels in some ways.
True. And they also, like, his fans and other, you know, even comic skaters and stuff have said to me, oh, well, what about, you know, the 90s? We need to get comics back to where they were in the 90s when they were, you know, X-Men #1 and stuff. And it's like, man, do you not know what happened after that? Because those two things are connected. It's not a coincidence that you saw the biggest heights of sales in comic book history, and then a couple of years later, the industry almost fucking died. Like, that's not a coincidence.
Yeah.
And I cannot stress this enough. Every week, if you go to your local comic book store, every week you'll get 20 to 30 new comic books. And I'm willing to bet 20 plus of them, and I'm being conservative on that, 20 plus of them are easily better than anything Rippaverse has ever produced.
Yeah.
Easily. A week.
Okay, so here he goes. I like the mixtures of characters and dark versions of characters. Well, I don't think that's unique to the Rippaverse, but okay. My film I made is a horror-inspired Spider-Man movie. So with YAIRA, I like the dark Wonder Woman take. Punisher meets Wonder Woman sounds cool. It does sound cool, but that's not what that trailer gave me.
No.
That trailer didn't give me that. She tells the girl at the end, she's like, I don't remember the character's name. She punches her. That was meant to be a death blow. So you mean to tell me you hit her as hard as you could, and she's just sitting there like nothing happened? And then she looks like she's afraid of YAIRA when YAIRA just told her, I hit you as hard as I could. That's just stupid.
And she also, like, why did she hit her for puking light in the
we
sky?
don't even know why she was attacking her. Yeah, there was no narrative there.
Plus, see movie. If you're into Wonder Woman, the current run of Wonder Woman is fantastic. Highly recommend it.
Bob, you reviewed that on your channel, didn't you? The most recent issue?
Very good.
Yeah.
David Daltrey, excellent point. Yeah, C Studios, movie studios or whatever. Have you read The Authority? Because if not, that's what you're looking for, dude. You don't need to.
The Authority changed the game. That original run changed the fucking game. So let's get through the remainder. This trailer's not much left because we're not going to watch it all the way to the end.
Real quick though, I do want to address this just because Greg. I mean, yeah, they may be mistaken on how much they think he wrote, but he did have a very outsized effect on the designs of the X-Men because, as I've got here, this book, I've got the entire card collection of those 92 X-Men cards, but this book that I just got recently is like the behind the scenes of the whole deck, right? So it goes into each card, which Jim Lee, that's why this card deck is special. 92 X-Men cards. Every one of them is an original Jim Lee drawing. They weren't from a comic book or anything like a lot of the card decks are for Marvel and whatnot. Literally designed for this. And then those cards were used even after he left. They would be sent to artists and other companies that they were licensing with to say, here's what this character looks like. And it was the designs that Jim Lee did for the cards. So,
and I mean, I think it's so Jim Lee was at the Cincinnati Comic Expo last year, and he talked about how he loved working with Chris Claremont, and Chris Claremont was like one of the first people to kind of get him more comfortable with the idea of like doing writing for the stories. And like he talks about how Chris Claremont literally came to him and said, "Hey, what story would you like to do?" And that story was the kind of the X-Men World War II Black Widow crossover story that they did,
which is a really cool fucking little arc.
Oh, this is kind of a behind the scenes thing, but I just realized we can see like the channel viewership by hovering over the number. I didn't realize that.
Yeah,
that's pretty interesting. That's pretty cool. Okay. All right. There's only like 30 seconds left where he talks about the stuff, and then we'll take his video off screen.
And meant to stand on its own. Some people have said if Hollywood put this out, you look at it differently. Well, yes, I know I would, considering the context. A more accurate.
Oh, when has he ever cared about context? Never. He has misconstrued and misrepresented so many things with Az on his live streams, like every week. To act like he wouldn't do that if this were Marvel or DC is an absolute lie. 100%.
That's his entire grift, is he just misrepresents shit. Like the first time I ever really covered his takes about that Spider-Verse character, the queer disabled one. He was like just a bunch of fucking lies.
Oh yeah. Well, no, they make this big deal out of that. It's like it's an Edge of Spider-Verse character. And
yeah.
I was like if we want to go the whole, it has a low budget, it hasn't had much time. I've seen trailers made on YouTube by creators way smaller with films with way less budget and resources than Eric July and his whole team has, that are filled with way more passion and just like entertainment than this.
Dude, I haven't seen a single Ban the Sun video as bad as that trailer.
Yeah. Let's see here.
Book trailers. I've seen some comments say that this was like CW-esque from people that enjoyed it and maybe some that didn't enjoy it as well. It's a compliment either way for us because that's a network connected to a billion-dollar corporate entity and multiple billion-dollar corporate entities.
Wait, So wait, all of a sudden he's pro-corporate? I mean, we all knew this, but he is just saying it
he's
right
pro lots of money is what he is. And so like the way he's framing it in his mind is like, oh, they made him think of something that made money. Okay. Because that's literally all he fucking cares about.
Not only that, don't Az and him both clown on Batwoman, which is a CW show? Like
they did, yeah.
Part of Az's entire platform was about Batwoman. Like, give me a fucking break. Like, this is, and my video's not out yet, but a little teaser of what I talk about when I'm in my video tomorrow with Eric is that he doesn't like all the stuff he pretends he gives value on, and the stuff he has is like, oh, these are things that I cherish and blah, 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 whatever. Leave your shit at the door. It's all a lie. The only difference between what Eric is doing and what those bigger companies is doing is they don't lie to you about why they want your money. That's the only difference. They're just putting out content so you'll pay for it and watch it and buy it. And this is something that they have said is a negative about quote unquote big Hollywood stuff in the past. But now Eric realizes after doing this live action thing with the Saska sisters and being, connected with other people in the industry, that now he doesn't want to dismantle it. He wants to be a part of it. That's the difference. Things have shifted for him.
I think that he more sees it as just he will use whatever in the industry as much as he can to get to the point where he can dismantle it. That's really what it is. That's what they're all doing. It's like they'll use YouTube and they'll use Twitter, even though they talk about how the tech companies are censoring them and whatever. Like they'll use them because they want to fucking control them. Like right here is just what I'm talking about.
Really got work to do. Like tanking on one movie, that's not enough. There's power in the customers, but customers have to have some sort of awareness, self-awareness as far as what you maybe contribute to this. Can you replace that Disney thing that you rely on to have a good time with something else? I think you can.
Yeah. I think also the people that support him need to understand that everybody associated with that YAIRA trailer, and I do mean everybody, are progressive people. Every single person except for Eric.
The director did he did a gay Holocaust story.
Yeah, so producer Joe Gold, his next thing coming out is called My Name Was Peter, which is about queer resistance in World War II. It's a gay love story. That was the producer of the YAIRA trailer, is working on that. Kia King, who was in there, supports Black Lives Matters. Eric's done like 3, 4, 5 videos about how Black Lives Matter is not an organization that he respects, but she's a big part of that. She's a big part of activism. The older guy with the weird, like, I don't know if that was hair or wig or whatever. I forget his name. He's a supporter of diversity in media. Marshall Bingham, who played Avery Isom in the trailer, is a supporter of diversity in Vancouver. And by the way, Vancouver is one of the biggest queer hotspots in this continent, basically. It's massive, and everybody that works in the industry up there is very progressive and very pro diversity. So it's just weird to me that the supporters, and I'm not talking about it's weird that Eric is associated with it, because clearly Eric doesn't give a fuck. He just wants to get into the cog, the cogs in the wheel. But the people that support him that think that they're supporting somebody who is so like anti-woke and leave your shit at the door, he is not. That is all a lie. It is a lie because he needed the Saska sisters to come in to be the connective, like the circuit between him and all of these other more progressive people to get his stuff made. That's why they're there. That's why he's defended them so much, because they are actually progressive people. They're activists. They're people that believe in feminism. All of this gives them connections that he wouldn't normally have, because those people would not be working with Eric July. They're working with the Saska sisters.
Meaning that he is willing to set aside all what he says he believes in or doesn't believe in if it means that he's going to be a little bit more successful.
Yeah. So, all right, let's see this last bit.
Like he has no ethics.
Yeah, true.
What we paid to make this happen, though, probably doesn't even cover the catering budget for one of their shows. Either way, it was a great experience. I learned so.
He tries to use that charisma. That's all. Like, watch my charisma while I lie to you.
So what he's saying is that on the other crews, they're well fed and better taken care of. That's what he's saying.
Well, see, we might be inclined to think he's lying about it being like a shoestring budget, except we know that it's true, because at the end of the trailer, there's that. I think I have it here somewhere.
Oh, the company that helped make it work or whatever. It's like a bunch of letters. Yeah, UBCPACTRA.
Ultra low budget something. It's basically it's a group of for people to make ultra low budget content.
So Josh, this is part of why I believe YAIRA is doing better than Chuck Dixon's age has affected his social media outreach, and the Saskas have a massive social media outreach. So I believe that they have clicked into a community that Eric needs for his comics to work. Chuck Dixon, no matter how great people think he is, I just being realistic here, a lot of these older guys in comics that are just making them in their houses and working like he does, they might be doing great work, but they don't have that social media savvy that the Saska sisters have. And that's extremely important in today's world. I mean, look at EVS. EVS, I'm trying to think of another person in comics that kind of does what he does. I can't really think of anybody off the top of my head. I mean, there's other people in comics that do it, but he understands that the market requires like social media, connections with your fans and everything like that. The other people like Chuck Dixon and even Mike Barron to a degree, all these other people that are working with Rippaverse, they don't have it like Saskas have it. They don't have it like EBS has it. They're trying Eric is trying to sell the comics on the back of Chuck Dixon's name, only to realize that most people just care about what Eric is making. They don't care about the fact that Chuck is writing it. If Eric would have wrote Alpha Core, it probably would have made more money. That's just the reality of it.
Yep. True.
Anyway, enough of that Eric July trailer. Did you see the Critical Drinkers t-shirt? Did you guys see that?
Oh, I saw that.
No, I did not.
You haven't seen it?
No.
He's selling an 8-year-old. He's selling an 8-year-old meme as a t-shirt. That's great. It's great stuff. This is Critical Drinkers new shirt.
I've seen a bunch of people being like,
"Wow,
who would ever wear this?" Like,
we know who would wear it.
Well, who needs to wear that? They
check
put it
your
in every
filtered
single
comments
fucking
first.
video.
Those people would wear it.
But would they though?
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. Like, honestly, even if you are like somebody who did think this was funny at some point, like, would you really get excited about spending money on it now? I don't know. And also, like, I just can't. I know I'm being a little autistic and literal about this, but like, does he want us fucking have audiences from the future? What does he want from the past? What other kind of audiences are you trying to make stuff for, you dipshit?
Can you please explain why they have the hipster like 2024 like alt-right poster person wearing this shirt? Like, would they wear this? Would this guy wear this shirt? Probably not.
Bro's here for a paycheck.
I mean, that's probably one of those images that's just like it was a blank shirt and they just put whatever on it.
Absolutely. He just picked the white nationalist guy to advertise on. So
yeah. Also, like the whole modern audiences and using this meme for it, like she wasn't like an audience for like media. I'm guessing like that's what modern audiences is about, right? Like she was having the whole like meltdown because of Trump, right?
Yeah, that was what it initially was, which has nothing to do with what they're talking about.
Yeah,
but they somehow connected the dots to it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She started the whole woke agenda in Hollywood. She's the reason the Little Mermaid is now black. Like,
yeah, you didn't know that?
That's the thing. for one thing, like, oh, ha ha ha, it's funny. It's their little, oh, look at us, we own the other side. But it's also just a shit T-shirt. Like,
yeah,
like it's a shit design. It's a shit idea. It doesn't make sense. I don't know why someone would want to wear this. And it's just it seems very like there's just no passion that's gone into it. There's
I actually
no
think
uniqueness.
if he took her meme off of it, I think it would be a cooler shirt. To be completely honest, if the meme was
Yeah.
gone, I think it would be a cool shirt. I wouldn't wear it, but I could see somebody wearing it because then you'd be like, oh, okay, what does that mean? This meme takes it to a place where it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, or even like you could have paid someone to make like some original art for it. That could still have been some kind of like a woke person breaking down or something. It's just
Yeah.
I don't know. It's I don't
Anyway,
I don't get
I thought it was funny because I'm like, who
Yeah.
would buy this shirt? Honestly,
it's incredibly lazy as well. That's what annoys me about it. I think it's there's no thought gone into this. And for a person who's making millions, like you could do a bit more. But that's the same with his content, and he doesn't.
Chandler said they buy it
Yeah.
for toilet paper. Yeah, I can see that.
Huh.
I mean, I think my YAIRA trailer was better, honestly.
What else do we have in the pipeline?
Well, we got Burbage.
Oh,
really? Burbage is.
And I'm extremely honored to be your new bishop. This has such a wonderful reputation. Please know of my great excitement in coming to you soon, serve here. All of you are my heart and my prayers, and I ask that you transition.
That's so funny.
Nice. Listen, we got Burbage on our side.
Got
Let's
him.
go.
That's too fucking funny.
There never has been a man that I respect more than Bishop Michael Burbage.
Right.
Yeah. Something about
I
him,
use
you
the
know, it's just-
citation to all my stuff at the end.
If I'm being, kind of problematic but honest, he kind of comes off as a little gay to me.
Yeah, I can
You
see
know?
that. I can see that. It
just
just
saying.
transition out of being
transition.
straight to being gay. Burbage, Pretty great.
Yeah.
So what? Sweet Baby Inc. Any thoughts on that?
Well, there's that, yeah.
Oh, God.
Well, so there's some posts over in the old Reddit, which, by the way, I don't know if we should announce that, if I should announce that yet, but yeah, over in Salter Than Crate, the good one, not the
Yeah, the one with the K.
with a K. Let's see,
Yeah, and with a Y, not the K with an I.
I actually saw somebody trying to explain that about how the dragon is spelled one way and the planet is spelled another, and like it's very confusing.
Well, it's
I
because
honestly
like
didn't remember which was which, so
because I think the original spelling is used for like the original server or subreddit, which is like a very anti-sequels, very anti-last.
Yes, yeah.
And then this one came, which was like a response to that and like response to the toxic Star Wars fans and stuff. And then there came another Saltier Than Crate one that was a response to this one. And it's there is some mad lore there.
So it's like just that keeps going. It's a
Yeah, exactly. Like there is 3 of them, and if you tell someone like oh, okay, if you want a decent like space where people aren't like being toxic about Star Wars and stuff, like go search up Saltier Than Crate. There's a
make sure it's this one. The
yeah,
rules are-
there's like a 2/3 chance that you end up at the wrong one.
Yeah,
which is crazy.
Yeah, and like, so I mean, I guess the newest buzzword is Sweet Baby Inc. or DEI or whatever.
Yeah,
they're definitely going hard on it. Gamergate 2, that's the newest buzzword.
Yeah. So Sweet Baby Inc., in case people are wondering, is a company that takes over other companies and controls every aspect of the video games. Right?
Yeah,
That's how consulting
it's
firms
just
work.
imagine a video game company. They're working on a video game, and then just like their fucking doors kicked in, right?
Yeah.
And this fucking big, huge, I guess probably lesbians or something, just like Jack Butch lesbians come in and they're like, "Give us a script, we're gonna read it." And they're like, "Okay," and they hand it to them, and they're like, "Oh, what is this? You know, this is."
There's not enough black people.
It's not enough black people.
Where's the gays?
You don't have any gay, just one gay in this game.
And it's crazy how, like, I mean, this is the same thing with everyone, right? Or with all of this content we talk to, or we talk about. Like it's the same with like people calling TV shows woke, right? It's like, oh, if something is woke, then it's bad. When in reality, it's like some things that they view as woke are bad, and then some things they view as woke are actually really good. It's the same thing here, right? Like I've been seeing a lot of quite like revisionism around this whole Sweet Baby Inc. thing. Like they worked on games like God of War Ragnarok, which was incredibly well received. It's an incredible game.
Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, but now like I've seen people go back now and say like, oh, God of War Ragnarok was shit and it was woke, and it's like, what the fuck, man? And like they've worked on like Spider-Man 2, which came out. They also worked on Alan Wake 2, which I've also seen people now who haven't even played the game saying like, oh, this is just cheap wokeness and stuff. That game is fucking incredible. It has an insane story. It makes leaps and bounds within gaming, and it like won game awards for best narrative and shit. Like people are just trying to make up shit up to be angry about here.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, I think I have a short, I believe, that you did, DJ. I don't know if you would want to repeat that or just want to check out the short.
I'm not sure which one it is, so
I mean,
you can play it if you want.
It's also like, I was having what's it called, like look too much into this whole thing, but like I know some people have been talking about like specific people who've worked at Sweet Baby and some things that they've said. I don't know exactly what, but it's like even if there are some people who've said some bad things, like just attributing the entire thing that Sweet Baby Inc. does and other companies does in like doing gaming to just like being bad and being woke and just ruining everything gaming and like attributing to that's why there's layoffs and stuff. It's just so reductive, and it's really annoying to see.
Yeah, they're definitely trying to do a Gamergate 2, which is not. They may get some traction on this show. They because it may keep them in the algorithm a bit more. But like, there's not going to be a Gamergate 2 simply because the effect that Gamergate had is still being played out, and you can't do that again because the parts of that they don't like to talk about, where Steve Bannon admitted openly, proudly, co-opted that movement from which was I guess maybe some well-meaning, misguided, potentially gamers in the beginning, and he corralled them into being basically fucking Trump supporters, and I don't think that is a coincidence that it's happening. They're trying to do that in the 2024,
and the sequel's never as good as the original. So
sequel's never as good unless you're talking about in-game. But nonetheless,
yeah, that's true.
Oh, you agreed with me. So you lose twice that debate.
I think he's talking about Spider-Man 2. So get off your fucking high horse, Dane.
The grifting from you liars is astounding. What are we grifting about, buddy? Please explain. You want to come on and talk about it later? We can talk about
I mean, if we're grifting, so are the people you support. So, I mean, are you calling them grifters too? I mean, that's essentially what you're saying.
Grifting is just when somebody says things I don't like.
Yeah.
I've seen Taser Man talking with other people. He's literally just a hype man for Eric July. He doesn't care if he's a hypocrite or not.
Oh, lame.
Nice.
Yeah, if you're actually a fan of Eric July and calling other people grifters, there's something going on.
Yeah. He's a like, he supports Eric July and he doesn't care if Eric July lies or is hypocritical or anything. He's actually admitted to it on camera. So
he's not hypocritical. He's rippocritical.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
There's another thing about this whole Sweet Baby Inc. thing that like annoys me, and it's similar to when there's so much focus on wokeness. It's like it takes away from genuine criticism. Like I generally believe that there's a reason that a lot of gamers are angry about the state of gaming, right? But now these people are trying to attribute it to the wrong thing. It's not about Sweet Baby Inc. and wokeness and shit. It's like fucking studio greed. Like as I don't know if you guys like heard a lot about the newest Suicide Squad game.
Yeah.
From the developers that made like the Arkham series, right? Which are some of the most well-received superhero games of all time, and like they're known for making these in-depth single-player story and narrative-driven games and very action-focused. And then they were basically forced by Warner Bros., like the studio above them, to make this live action or live service game that would just make a shit ton of money, and it would completely go against the DNA of the studio that made it. Until now, like so many people have left that studio, and they're just a shell themselves, and we'll probably never see an Arkham game or like a similar game to that from them ever again because of this direction it's been taken. And that's like pretty much just from studio greed from the higher ups. Like there's a lot of problems in gaming, and the reason that there's been so many layoffs is very like multifaceted, and it's not because of fucking Sweet Baby Inc.
Right.
It's just annoying that like there are genuine problems with pretty much everything, right? And especially also with gaming. But these people are now just trying to take the spotlight away from those actual problems and put it on the wrong solutions or like the wrong causes, and it's annoying.
Oh well, sequel stuff debunked here. DJ Throg EP said Godfather 2. So
okay, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I think Godfather 1's better than Godfather 2, and I think Godfather 2 is really fucking good.
I have not seen the Godfather trilogy.
Oh, well, there you go.
I have seen
they
that
made
show
two
that
and
they
then
did
they
a couple
stopped.
years ago that was about the making of the Godfather trilogy. I really enjoyed that.
That means you've watched.
And Turf, I'm gonna need you to stop being based. I've seen on Reddit people are saying they should go after you because you don't get attacked enough. So you need to stop being based. You're drawing attention to yourself with these takes.
I just wanted to say real quick about old Taser Man. It's fucking hilarious that I literally just offered him to come on the show later, and he's like, "Y'all don't like opposition to the propaganda you're pushing." Fuck off, dude. Like,
Well, here's the deal: if you don't like the trailer, then why do you have an issue with what we're saying? You know what I mean? Like you're like, I don't like it either, but I'm just gonna argue with you. Okay, cool.
He said he doesn't like the trailer clowns. I didn't even see any trailer clowns.
Oh yeah, I didn't even see that either. I don't know.
I didn't like the trailer clowns. What trailer clowns? I don't know. Is that like trailer trash, but they're clowns? I don't know. Weird.
So the thing about Sweet Baby Inc., like from what I understand, and this is how it all started, was that the Kim Belair, I believe is her name, the CEO, drew attention to a group on Steam. This is for anybody in the chat that doesn't know what's going on. There's a group on Steam that was keeping track of these games that were made by Sweet Baby Inc., even though, as far as I know, their website had all the stuff they worked on posted on their website. But somebody on Steam was making a list basically drawing attention to games made by Sweet Baby Inc. because they didn't like what Sweet Baby Inc. was about. And then there's a Streisand effect, which, by the way, don't be that person. This comes from somebody that doesn't understand internet trolling. Like there's certain things you can like not talk about, and that's fine. And there's some things you want to bring attention to. I think bringing attention to that list was really stupid. I probably would have never done that myself. So that was not a great moment. But then that started the spiral of this. And then people started looking into everybody attached with Sweet Baby Inc., past employees, bring up their opinions, trying to say they're racist and all this other stuff. It became a cycle of like witch hunts on employees of Sweet Baby Inc. And then connecting it to BlackRock and DEI and ESG, which, by the way, they said that they don't have any connection to any sort of rating system, but that's not enough for people that have conspiracy theories about it. It's a real. I don't understand how it's. I get that people wanted to be Gamergate too. I don't see how it's such a big issue though, because it's not like they work on every game in the industry. There's far too many games out there, and they're hired by the people that are making the games. It's not like they're going in and pushing the doors down.
They're lying hard about it because it's like, if they just base it on what's actually happened, it's like, you've got a handful of game studios that have, again, hired them, asked them, wanted them to do this. That literally have not been forced by any, butch lesbians kicking in doors or anything.
Yeah.
And yet you see them acting like, I've seen posts where they're like, oh, you can just assume that it's them with every game where there's some kind of woke stuff that Sweet Baby's involved.
Mm-hmm. Which one of my clips did you have, by the way? I see my face down there. I don't know which one.
This one. While I look for because I got a video by a channel that you're familiar with. We're vaguely familiar with you for sure, DJ. That we can kind of get their perspective on it and like, well, how are they looking at this? But let's check this out first.
The gay card carrying people in the world, the trans card carrying people in the world, queer people in the world, whatever, however you want to say it, that we have this ability to make things better for us, but we just choose not to do it. We choose to do it in the hardest way possible. Like coming up with a consultation firm for marginalized communities that just helps with the narrative in games, that is a tool for people to use. If in fact we were doing all of these things and we had the power to do all these things, wouldn't we just be doing them? And if we were, wouldn't it be covered up in a way that you wouldn't even know it? I mean, I feel like it's just a weird thing that we're so smart as gay people that we're able to do all of these like almost insidious, like a Cobra type stuff from G.I. Joe, where we're inside governments and facilities and businesses and doing all this covert stuff, but we're also really stupid because of the pronoun things, and we're really dumb because of all the pride events we have. Like so
the enemy is both weak and strong. That's
and I have to bring that up every time because I don't think people are quite aware that is the sort of that's how they function. That's what they do. They create this narrative where we're out there doing all these awful things, but we're also so weak and they're winning the war. And that's what makes it propaganda. And that's why people don't understand that. They get wrapped up in it and they don't look at it from an outside perspective. And if queer people were able to just turn the tides, why would they be functioning as a consultation firm for more representation in media? Like, why would they have to do that? Why would a company like Sweet Baby Inc. have to exist if it were just so easy to take over everything? It just,
Yeah. I mean, also just so I didn't know this, but it makes sense now why I guess a lot of focus is on Sweet Baby Inc. is because they worked on the new Suicide Squad game.
Right.
And so,
which is very poorly received. It's a game that a lot of people like, so I get it.
Yeah.
But they also worked on God of War.
Yeah, exactly. God of War, Spider-Man 2, fucking Alan Wake 2, and a bunch of other games. Like it's the same shit we see all the time where people just focus in on one specific thing.
Yeah.
Wait, do you mean these guys cherry pick?
Yes.
You know what, Bob? I think I do.
Count this before.
So Jasper said that your boy Zach did a video on Sweet Baby. It's good old-fashioned extortion. In what way though? In what way? Like I don't want to run down a spiral of conspiracy theories to get to the point. Like tell me what the material harm is in what Sweet Baby Inc. is doing.
Well, we've got a video right here where they kind of say some stuff about it, but I just wanted to say that I thought of something the other day because I see your boy Zach's videos pop up on my YouTube and shit. It's like every single one of them. Basically, if Twitter just ended tomorrow, his YouTube career would be over.
Is it really all just a Twitter farming account?
And then just ramble his bullshit about a tweet. That's his entire fucking channel. It's insane. Anyway,
I mean, I feel weird calling it your boy Zach. It's fucking Richard Meyer, guys.
It's Richard C. Meyer. Yeah, it is weird calling him that.
Your boy Zach.
Yeah.
Okay, so here is a video that I was like, maybe these guys might have, I don't know, good take. Generally, sometimes this guy has had some okay takes considering the folks he traffics with, but
all right.
So we got Geek Getaway here.
All right.
And then some other people have no idea really who these people are. But maybe they got some smart commentary. Who knows? No, I do. I know they don't.
Strong arming the industry and everything. Spider-Man, Alan Wake, ridiculous phishing. Devs speak up in support of consultancy. Damn it. Studio Sweet Baby Inc. After online group claims firm pushing agenda into games it worked on. Online group. I wonder what that means. Yeah. Gamergate 2, Electric Boogaloo. Here we go. Hell yeah, I'm excited.
Literally rubbing his hands together at the idea of another Gamergate.
Can't wait to harass some women online.
Yeah.
Just so you know, apparently this article, when it was tweeted out on Twitter, on the Twitters, it got community noted that they don't mention in this article how the Sweet Baby Inc. employees were attacking people and calling them names and calling people babies and calling people, gamer words.
Okay.
Wait. We're talking about like the CEO, right? Kim. Is that who he's referring to? Is that?
I don't know.
I know Kim was the one that people were saying made a lot of really dumb online comments, and there was more than one. I only know about the videos that were shared and the first comment that came out. So maybe there was other stuff that was said.
And I mean, maybe that's a bad idea to do that as a company. Really,
it is 100%. Yeah.
However, the fact that these guys hold them to that standard whenever like all they do is talk shit about people and like instigate people on the internet, you know what I mean? Like, and then you see how they interact with each other and whatnot, and probably, yeah, it's that basically everything that he says here. Don't spoil it, but I'm gonna spoil it. Everything that could have happened, any response that could have been made from Sweet Baby Inc. or the developers, which the developers apparently have also said some things in response, it's all evidence of how they were right in the first place. Because, you know, I don't know. It's this conspiratorial thinking that I can't understand, where you have to just be so desperate to like believe the pre-drawn conclusion that you're starting with, that you just will take whatever and twist it back that way.
Calling us evil.
Calling us evil.
Mary Kenny, Associate Narrative Director at Insomniac Games, has discussed the current online discussion surrounding narrative development and consultancy firm Sweet Baby Inc. To recap, Sweet Baby Inc. recently became the target of a group which claimed the company was forcing studios it worked with to increase diversity within its games, and accused of it of pushing a, quote, woke agenda into the industry. Following a report into the claims by Kotaku, a number of game developers have spoken up to clear up misconceptions about what companies like Sweet Baby Inc. actually do. I'm going to stop you right fucking there, okay? Eurogamer, let me stop you right fucking there. Okay? If a company is being accused of nefariously injecting personal politics into their games, they're being accused of all these evils, like Potion Sword Run just showing up in the middle of a stream, and then suddenly game developers.
I gotta look into some of this. Leslie's saying it. Potion Sword Run. What the fuck does that mean?
Might be a comic. Like, there's a lot of CG people that go on to promote their comic books, so it might be a comic book promoter.
Oh, he was referencing his own stream.
I'm guessing, because TJ Laser, he's been on stream with me before. He's a co-host, and Finbar, I believe, is the artist for Tony's comic. I don't know who Potion is, but I'm assuming they're probably promoting a comic book.
I see. Okay, they're definitely doing some Sweet Baby grifting. All right.
Not the companies, but the game developers are coming out, right, to defend them. When the accusation is that if they don't listen to Sweet Baby Inc., Sweet Baby Inc. will, as the head of Sweet Baby Inc. said herself, terrorize the members of the company.
All right, let's check that real quick.
That goes back to Kim talking about how if the other employees don't want to participate in diversity, and I'm paraphrasing here, that you just don't include them in any of that stuff until they either don't want to be there or decide that it's within their best interest to get involved with it. But again, this is consultation stuff. This isn't. Mm-hmm. I don't think that any of this is. So the problem with this argument is that Sweet Baby Inc., there's no way for them to get reprieve in anything, because if they already believe that Sweet Baby Inc. is forcing people to do things, then Sweet Baby Inc. can't exonerate themselves, and the companies that have hired Sweet Baby Inc. can't exonerate them, which means there is a no-win scenario here. So nothing that they say will be enough for people that are criticizing them to exonerate anything they're doing. Am I getting that right? That's kind of what they're in. They're in a no-win situation.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, this is like, if you're accused of murder and somebody that's like, potentially, I don't know, was around whenever that murder happened, comes out and says he actually didn't murder somebody, that means you definitely murdered somebody.
Right.
I guess.
I'm trying to figure out, because this is the same way when Eric and Az talked about Marvel switching up and doing different stuff or whatever, and that it wasn't enough, you know what I mean, that they would never accept it or whatever. I don't think there's any scenario, and I have not talked to Tony since this whole thing happened, so I've not been on his stream, but I don't think there's any scenario that people that feel this way about Sweet Baby Inc. would change their opinion about it. I don't believe that there's a situation where that would happen. So it's just going to be more and more like dogpiling. as this goes on. I'm gonna say.
So there's a really seems like a really good article by Yahoo News from 12 hours ago on this that we can check out. So yeah, at least we have this to look at. Please don't let me forget to look at this because I don't want to watch this fucking video and then not. Yeah.
So Chandler, this was what, like, I've made 2 videos about Sweet Baby Inc. And this is kind of like my take in my second video was, if Sweet Baby Inc. were a conservative consulting firm doing the exact same thing, except in the opposite direction, the vast majority of the people that are complaining about it would have nothing to say. And I'm not saying that as a theory. I 100% know that.
Yeah.
100%.
I don't know a whole lot about Tony. I know that we disagree on quite a bit, but like at the same time, he has had takes that, like, I was surprised that he, like, oh, he's actually not as bad as I thought or whatever. Like about the whole Soska Sisters thing, his ethical considerations on that were fucking pretty spot on, except for then whenever he went on to say that the poster that had apparently satanic imagery was worse than the actual exploitation of the girl. That I don't agree with that, but everything else he was spot on. So this was weird to me.
It wasn't okay. So again, gosh, I haven't talked to him much about it because on the streams we typically just talk about like Comicsgate and Eric July. But wasn't Tony pretty prevalent in the Gamergate stuff? Wasn't that because he was a reporter? He was working, writing articles or things for gaming news when all of that kind of went down. Is that kind of where this started?
Yeah, generally what I understand was the case. I mean, I don't know what he was doing, but I know that he was prominent in Gamergate. And that's why, or at least he was really deep into it or whatever and focused on it. So that's why he gets so excited about the prospect of it too, because, give me those glory days, man,
Yeah.
I guess.
I don't know. I'm not going to pretend like I'm an expert on Gamergate 1. I just know the surface level stuff. But to me, this feels like not just in this stream here, but just in general, the people that are kind of going in on this, it feels like an exaggeration of like the situation at hand, because Sweet Baby Inc. gets hired. And if you act like they're terrorizing, why would you hire a company that inside the industry goes in and terrorizes your workers? Why would you do that? I don't understand. That doesn't make any sense to me. If I'm making games and I have an option to just make the game I want to make or hire this firm that I know from other people that work in this industry come in and do all this stuff, why would I do it? And you can't say, oh, it's because they're controlling the industry, because if that were the case, Sweet Baby Inc. would be doing this to every game studio, but they're not. It's not even close. It's actually like 20 games or something. So I don't know. I'm not big on conspiracy theory stuff. I need more like factual stuff. I mean, we can sit and talk about things, but
let's look at this. Actually, I just found a Substack article that kind of really goes into it, maybe better than the Yahoo one, but
yeah.
So this is thankfully a free Substack. What actually happened and why should you care? By Adam. Name I'm gonna mess up if I say it. Sweet Baby Inc. has become the focus of some gamers' ire on social media, but what happened and why should you care? Companies About Us section, which we looked at the other day, last week. Founded in 2018, Sweet Baby Inc. is a narrative development and consultation studio based in Montreal, working around the globe. Our mission is to tell better, more empathetic stories while diversifying and enriching the video games industry. We aim to make games more engaging, more fun, more meaningful, more inclusive for everyone. It's worked on several high-profile titles such as God of War Ragnarok, Spider-Man 2, Alan Wake, Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League. Clients include Xbox, Ubisoft, Square Enix, Rocksteady, EA, Wizards of the Coast, practically all the big name players in the industry. So what does it do? And they bring in diverse voices to solve diverse problems, blah, blah, blah. So here's a comprehensive list of what Sweet Baby Inc. can potentially work on if it's hired. Writing, cinematics, dialogue, UI, UX writing, barks, copywriting, etc. Narrative, story pitches, world building, character creation, narrative design, story feedback and tweaks, and more. Representation, cultural consultation, sensitivity and inclusivity reading, risk and opportunities assessment, and more. Development, full-scale game development and interactive fiction. So, I mean, that's a pretty broad range of shit that they could do. So I actually want to go to the Yahoo article real quick about because there's something that's said here. This is definitely taking this Yahoo article does take a bit of a like, oh, these fucking people kind of approach, and I don't think that helps necessarily, but you know, talking about like the chuds, essentially, just kind of like dismissing. So Sweet Baby employees maintain that overall their job is to provide assistance to companies that already want to improve already existing diverse elements. So let's fucking read that sentence again. Provide assistance to companies that already want to improve already existing diverse elements. Because it seems like Tony honestly kind of has maybe a bit of a reading challenge going on. So I just wanted to really take that in. As per the company CEO, who, you know, she's apparently the devil. But the perspective is never that we're coming in and injecting diversity. For the most part, it's the reverse. What? They're taking out diversity? No. It's that the company has created a character, a diverse character, and they want to make that character more representative of real life people and experiences and more interesting. There you go.
I think essentially is like if I were to make a game and I weren't to include somebody from another cultural background or another community that I'm not a part of, I could call up Sweet Baby Inc. and go, hey, I've got this character. This is who they are. This is what their background is. I don't know a lot about this. Can you come in and help me make sure that this is done in a way that is respectful and makes sense? That's pretty much what they do.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, the idea I have for a comic book that I was working on, like I was legit like getting deep into working on the preliminary stages of it whenever the initiative just kind of happened. You know, it's like been sidelined since then. But like it is literally revolves around kind of like several different characters that are from various marginalized groups. And I'm just like, man, this is a really good idea that I have, but I don't feel like I could fucking represent this as well. So I was like actually going to, you know, start talking with people of those communities and, you know, make it kind of like a collaborative thing. And yeah, that's.
You could just hire Sweet Baby Inc.
That's what I'm thinking I'm going to do now. If I make a video game,
or Rip a Send. Rip a Send might be able to help you.
Oh yeah, Rip a Send.
Hey, look, I'm going to hire them both and heal the world. Okay.
So Sketchy here says that it's a reputation radioactive, so no company can hire them, and despite no valid criticism, I do realize that is that's pretty much the goal of all of the pushback on these things, is to make it so that companies feel threatened. See, it's really funny that they use terrorize as the term for like Sweet Baby Inc., but then at the same time they're boycotting is threatening these other companies. So again, it's just the tactics are different when it comes from different spaces.
Dumb and Dumber, man, dude. Like, so are you saying that in a capitalist society, a company is telling its employees that they need to convince people to hire them? Are you fucking? That's crazy, man. Come on, dude. Consultation work is a complete non-event. So here's the uninitiated observer who gets riled up over Starfield daring to let you they them in space. Sweet Baby may very well represent everything terrible about video games in the modern era. But in case you aren't like that, I feel obligated to lay out an explanation. Narrative development company. Described as a consultation studio. So it starts with starts with the dev team has an idea. Maybe they already have an outline of the story, core gameplay loop. Maybe they've got a whole script and a playable build. Either way, something is missing. These problems could involve poor world building, an underbaked character, and so on. The team knows something is wrong, but not how to identify or fix it. However, as Kenny empathically states, Sweet Baby has no actual say on what makes it into the final game. Once again, Sweet Baby has no actual say on what makes it into the final game, Tony. If the dev team disagrees with them on something, the dev team doesn't take the note. It really is that simple.
Exactly. It's suggestions.
Baffling, this isn't the first time in recent days that the game developers have had to dispel such rumors. Here's Kyle Rowley, director of Alan Wake 2, having to set the record straight about Saga Anderson's ethnicity. The prevailing theory is that if we weren't for Sweet Baby, Saga Anderson would have been portrayed by a white woman. Is that true? First of all, why do you fucking care? Well, I mean, we know why, because you're fucking racist. Well, it's impossible to say, but does it matter? It's absolutely not true. To rephrase the obvious, Sweet Baby is about as capable of forcing a game developer to make grand sweeping changes to its story and characters as a contracted artist, musician, or catering company staff worker for office birthdays is. It's the prime business model of consulting companies to offer consultation. Maybe look that word up. It's no different than, I said it last time, like you get consultants for, like, you want to write a story about that takes place partially in, like, I don't know, the Middle East or something like that for half of the movie, and you're like, but I've never fucking been to the Middle East, like, you probably want to look something up on the internet at the very least. Oh no, you're consulting someone else. Yeah, it's fucking so dumb. Literally a non-event. They obviously aren't ruining games. Most recently, they were hired to consult on Suicide Squad, which hasn't been doing great by Warner Brothers' own admissions.
It could be that's just not a good game. I mean, that's probably the
it's just like the movie thing. It's like sometimes there's going to be movies that don't do well, or video games that do well, don't do well. But what about all the ones
why look at it through a rational lens when you can, like, create a narrative around it? Why would you do that?
Over the past few years, they've been called in to work on some genuinely solid games like Ragnarok, Shadow Gambit, Spider-Man 2, Alan Wake 2, which got an 88 from Yahoo. It's consulted. And there are some less than solid titles like Gotham Knights and Dungeons & Dragons Dark Alliance. Oh my God, it's almost like they're just a consulting company.
Why is Sweet Baby Inc. responsible for the failure or success of a person's game?
Because the assumption is that any inclusion of wokeness that's forced is therefore going to ruin a thing.
So
that's just the assumption that all these people have.
So they went into Thor Ragnarok and were like, oh no, we don't need woke here, even though that's literally what they're accusing them of. I mean, I don't. It's really exhausting trying to do the mental gymnastics around this, to be honest.
It is, yeah.
So this is Sweet Baby Inc.'s fault right here.
Right.
Oh yeah, this is woke.
Right. They also made characters piss on characters and kill Batman and all that. Like, all that was them.
Yep.
Yes, the game Suicide Squad killed the Justice League was never supposed to be about killing the Justice League before Sweet Baby Inc. came in.
It was going to be. It was originally called Suicide Squad Loves the Justice League.
Exactly. It was going to be a big. Everyone loves Batman. Like,
so Jasper, okay, couple things. I'm not like this. Art is subjective. You either like it or you don't. So
why would you not be cool about that? It's literally, the game is about the bad guys getting to fucking win against the good guys. It literally doesn't. It's not like it's a real guy. Like, I mean, if you're gonna be mad about the heroes being disrespected, you should be fucking mad that Brainiac takes control of them and makes them bad guys in the first place.
Yeah.
But no, the pissing is just a fucking bridge too far. Get the fuck over your oversensitive bullshit, man.
It's so annoying to see people get angry that the Justice League die in a game called Kill the Justice League. Like, if you don't want to play this game and see your favorite heroes get killed and get shit on and stuff, fine, don't buy it. It's
well,
that
I'm trying to wrap my head around the idea that, like, the villains should respect the heroes.
Well, that's the argument, is that the Flash's rogues gallery, even though they're against the Flash, they're not disrespectful to the Flash. That's the argument I've seen. I don't know.
They just want to kill him. They just want
I don't know if it's a particular run that people are referencing.
Okay, so I have watched the entire cinematic thing of the game, because I was like, I'm probably never going to play this, but I am interested. So I watched on YouTube all the cinematics. Okay, what happens is, by the time late in the game, it's pretty late in the game whenever you finally kill Flash, and at that point, the Flash has gotten close to killing them all and fucked them all up pretty bad throughout the entire game. So, I mean, maybe in the beginning, like actual regular Flash who's not controlled by Brainiac, no, Boomerang wouldn't want to piss on him, right? But at that point, you literally had the Justice League trying to murder you throughout the whole fucking thing. And so, he pisses on him. And it's like, it's actually kind of funny. And I think there might even be some kind of like acknowledgement of it being kind of like disappointing or something like that. That he's actually dead now. And like this, almost like this realization, like, it's not what I thought it was going to be or something. There might be something like that. I forget.
Yeah, but I always go back to this, and this is whenever it comes to art stuff, typically this is where I'm going to fall on this. It's all subjective, meaning you can either like it or you don't have to like it. I'm not the art police. If somebody wants to like something, they're totally free to like it. If they want to dislike something, they're totally free to dislike it or whatever. I don't think diversity made the Suicide Squad a bad game. So the argument that you're making about him pissing on the Flash and being bad, that would have nothing to do with what Sweet Baby Inc. does.
Right. That's
when
what I
they
was
go in
going to
and
say
consult.
next. Like, well, you have not connected that to. You may not like it. That's fine. Anybody knows my content knows I respect the fact that you have a different opinion than me, even if I can find ways to say that I think it's misinformed or silly. But I will respect it and say, hey, you have a right to that. I'm not going to say you're bad or wrong or anything. But if you're going to say that Sweet Baby Inc. had something to do with it, then you need to fucking lay that connection out clearly. Right?
The fact that David tried to explain this and people didn't get it just goes to show they don't want to hear from anybody that says something they don't like.
No, they're all in on. I mean, you could literally hear Tony's fucking hands rubbing together, dude. Like they were committed to like, we're gonna make this Gamergate 2 thing happen. That was the good old days. We haven't done as well since then. It's also a fucking election year, and you remember Gamergate, did literally lead to. I don't know if everybody's aware of this, but like Gamergate was in part responsible for Donald Trump being elected in 2016.
Yeah,
they memed that motherfucker into office. And all the grievance politics, cultural politics that then became politics. You know what I mean? And they're trying to do it again.
So it's another thing that people need to be talking about is the fact that gaming prices are skyrocketing. Microtransactions, loot boxes, all of that is an issue for gamers. Always online shit. Like, there's other problems. Why are we focused on literally the weakest of all the issues?
Crunch. Any of these things would be something if you actually gave a shit about human beings or the video game industry. These would be what you'd focus on. But instead, and it's the same thing as with comics, where they fucking go, there are legitimate issues, corporate issues. So that's the issue with all this stuff is corporatism. And there are fucking decisions made that fuck over the creators, that fuck over the buyers, that fuck over the market. You know what I mean? Yeah. And none of it has to do with how diverse or woke or anything anybody is. And these people actually make it less likely that we can address any real problems in any of these industries, because they clog up the fucking algorithm with this garbage, with this fucking harebrained, fucking half-thought fucking bullshit. In the same video in a minute, if we can continue watching it, Tony can't even remember DEI. He's trying to think of DEI and he can't remember it. Can't remember the acronym. I'm sorry, man, but if you can't fucking remember the acronym, you probably don't have a good concept of a grasp on the concept that it represents. You know what I mean? It's just hard for me to believe that you do.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen a lot of people because there's been a lot of like layoffs within the gaming community recently. Like Sony laid off like 900 people, then like Activision with like 1,900. And most of the big studios have been doing it. And I've seen some people saying like, oh, it's because of Sweet Baby Inc., right? And it's like Spider-Man 2 did poorly because of wokeness or some shit. And then that's why Insomniac had to lay off some people, when in reality, Spider-Man 2 did very well. And just in general, a lot of the layoffs are because of COVID. Under COVID, a lot of people were at home. People had a lot more time to just play video games. The video game industry boomed incredibly. Now people are back at work, back at lives. People don't have as much time and money to spend on video games, right? So it's like when you think about why these layoffs are happening, there is other reasons than wokeness and Sweet Baby Inc.
Absolutely.
What were you gonna say, Jay?
Almost makes you think the real problem is just capitalism.
Yeah, I mean, also like. You might not know this, but Spider-Man 2 being successful is also something that could have triggered layoffs. What? Yeah. Because that's how corporations, you think corporations just work like the logical way that you would think capitalism should? No, fuck no. No, they made a shitload of money, and therefore their fucking profits are going to be up over last year, or at last quarter and last year, which is the goal of every corporation, every quarter, every year, is to have their profits up a certain amount every single time. And so they've got their profits up. What do they need to fucking pay these people for? They don't. They don't need to right now.
Every time a company becomes profitable,
profits next quarter because they're dropping the fucking payroll down so much.
Yeah. I would say anytime a company starts making massive profits, the first thing they do is go to the board and say, what can we cut from that to make it profitable without suffering? You know what I mean? Like, they could say, oh, we don't need XYZ of these people because they're irrelevant to how we made our money, so they can go. And that's what they do. They do that every round. So
capitalist
this
success
is why unions are important.
That's honestly that's what's going on with the MCU in some ways. The real actual problems that existed with the way the MCU has been doing stuff is because they've been so successful. That's just how it's so common, with companies, whatever industry it's in, where it's like, oh, they get super
Imagine how
successful.
one massively underperforming movie means it's the death of the entire franchise. That's literally what people are saying. Like the Marvels underperformed, so it's the death of the franchise. Because even Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania did mild, like it hit that 500 million mark for them.
Yeah.
And the studio seemed to be okay with that. So you could say that one didn't perform as well, but the Marvels is the first real flop that the MCU has had.
Yeah.
Dumb and Dumber, like that's the thing. But the executives don't value the people that you're talking about. They think
don't value
they did
art.
it. They
don't
think
value
they
creative
fucking
people.
did it. They made the decisions to make that money. So, whether or not they have these fucking creatives on or not, it shouldn't matter. I'm making good decisions. That's how they see it.
So
Yeah,
it's
because
also-
their goal is to like make the company profitable and then move on to another company. That's how CEOs and COOs work.
Yeah.
CFOs,
Their
they
only
all do that.
goal, their only goal in decisions is to make more money. That's it. That's all they care about.
Yeah. And from a purely money making perspective, it makes sense that when you've had a massive release that has made a lot of money, and then forward ahead, like the next year, they don't have another big major release coming out. For example, with Insomniac, with the Spider-Man games, like to get the profit margins up, they're going to lay off some people, and maybe it's because they don't need like that many people for that intensity at the moment, because they aren't close to finishing something new.
I mean,
like there's plenty of
it's like-
reasons.
there's a reason why they need to unionize, because that's a big issue. A lot of these computer firms are not unionized, and those people need to have their jobs protected.
Yeah, they get a lot of like crunch, like we mentioned. People within the video game industry, they get worked to death, and then they just get laid off. It's
Especially because, like, when did Spider-Man come out? It came out toward the end of the year.
October.
Yeah.
So if they would have kept, when did they fire people or lay people?
Oh,
off?
that was quite recently. That was like beginning of the
Fair
year.
enough. Yeah, I was going to say that. I mean, so not in that example, but there's definitely been examples where they're like, well, if we keep them on, we'll have to pay them bonuses, shit like that. Like that stuff that goes
That's
into
true.
the
I mean, it does also make sense to like keep them on, right? Like to not just lay off a lot of people right after the game comes out, because they still need to do like updates and some DLC and stuff.
Yep.
I want to point out that we've already, like, even companies like Disney have been called out on this. The reason why, like, they change titles of shows is because once you do that, it resets contractual obligations, meaning that if you were paying somebody, $10,000 or $10 million an episode, if you come back for a different show, you have to renegotiate your contract. You can't just go, hey, I was on this successful show, I want more money.
Wow.
That's horrible.
So, like, the way does that include like shows that haven't come out yet, like the what's you call it, Agatha show?
Yes. Yep. So the reason why Daredevil Born Again, or whatever it was titled, was done that was because they said it wasn't necessarily that they wanted to retitle it. They didn't have to. They owned the Daredevil show at this point.
It also
but they
doesn't make
did it
sense because season 3 was kind of the Born Again storyline.
Yeah. So they decided to retitle it because that means everybody had to come back to the table and renegotiate based on a brand new series. And they do it with all the children's shows, like all the kid shows on Disney. They change their titles like every 2 seasons so they can renegotiate contracts. It's a pretty scummy thing to do. Disney's not the only place that does it, but that's the example that I thought of. So
yeah. And it's always executive decisions, and it's like, there are creatives who, like the project manager, whatever role that is called literally in given context. Those are the people that like are the liaison between the executive and the general creatives, right? And it's like those people probably do fucking get really bummed out. That's the worst day of their year life. Sometimes is like having.
What am I talking about? This is the hillcast. Disney is great. Marvel's great. They never.
Yeah, sorry, my bad.
That's true. Yeah.
Please keep sending us money, Disney. Also, what's his name? Fucking, the guy that owns this.
Which one of the many that we get paychecks from? I don't know.
That one guy, the one guy that's behind all the leftism. I forget his name. For some
Obama?
reason. Nope. Yeah.
Joe Biden? Joe.
Yep. Him too.
Karl Marx.
Yeah, so Cartoon Network's done it with Ben 10. Yeah, there's a million different titles for Ben 10, which is pretty funny.
And they called it Ben 11.
Yeah, that's Kevin 11 for you.
Yeah, so Lucifer, that's a good point. Yes, Netflix cancels shows after like 3 seasons because it gets too expensive to pay the actors. That's a really good point. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, yeah. So these guys are grifting, man, and Tony. Yeah, I don't know. You're friendly with him, DJ. Do you think he'd be amenable to any of this context or information, or would he just kind of?
Oh, you mean like coming on and talking about it, or just in
I
general?
don't know. Like if you just watched this and listened to what we read and what we're explaining and stuff, like would he be just like rejecting all of it, or what?
I mean, he's always been very level-headed with me. I don't, unless there's history between the two of you that I'm not aware of. So I don't know.
I mean, there's only in the sense that like he earlier on he was trying to get me to debate him, and I just didn't want to because I
Yeah.
was like, it seems like you're trying too hard to build up your audience and stuff. So no.
I mean, you have more of a hold or a handle on like the Gamergate stuff. So you'd probably be, if he wanted to talk about it or whatever, it'd have to be because I only know surface level stuff of Gamergate 1. So
Well, I mean, speaking of, actually, I don't have it's not like I'm an expert, but by Sunday I will be, and on Sunday the Fapcast is covering fucking Gamergate.
Oh
Yay.
shit! Oh shit!
We're doing the Gamergate episode finally.
Oh damn!
I'm gonna be watching a lot of Innuendo Studios between now and then.
Oh god.
So you're gonna do it. You're gonna do like a deep dive into Gamergate. So
yeah,
back to the beginning.
That's pretty cool. And on that note, I think I have to leave.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Bye.
What? I actually think did we get through all of our stuff? Did we get through everything?
You're running my boss's name. That's our boss, George Soros.
Oh yeah, George Soros. Yeah, he writes big fat checks for all its leftists, right?
I think that was pretty much everything we had kind of to talk about. I mean, we didn't really, get into the other thing, but like, I don't know, we could do a recording.
What was the other thing?
Well, we were going to talk about Saltooth and Crate and the disappointing way that they used your thumbnail.
Oh, yeah.
Because but it's not like all the entire subreddit's fault. It's like one person posted your thumbnail and called you an incel, right, or something like that.
Yeah. So okay, very quickly before Turf goes, I make satirical thumbnails poking fun at the Chud thumbnails because it is the way to hijack the algorithm. I've never I've never hid that. I've never lied about it or said, no, that's not what I'm doing. That's absolutely 100% what I do. I try to make fun of it. I stick ridiculous stuff in the thumbnails. And then in the titles, I try to poke fun at them. And then you click on the video and within 5 seconds, you realize this dude is like totally progressive. And like this video is not what I expected. And I love the comments where people are like, oh my God, it's a breath of fresh air to have a video that's not like that or whatever. Well, Saltier Than Great took one of my thumbnails, did not use the title, just the thumbnail, and posted it in their subreddit. And if this were a Chud subreddit, I'd be like, okay, I mean, I get it, right? But they did that, and then they didn't include the link to my video, which is what I always find annoying, when it comes to framing stuff, at least from the prospect of like, just like the person that shared it just shared it. There was no context. There was no, like, he didn't have a video on YouTube where he had my thumbnail and was like, well, this is what this is or whatever. Nothing. It was just the thumbnail. So fair enough. They shared it. But then the comments were like, attacking me for being an incel. And I'm like, you didn't watch the video. Like that, the thumbnail pulls you in. My videos are meant to look outrageous because that is what the Chud channels do. That's how they get into the system. So if you look and you pay attention to what the one that they used was the one about Sydney Sweeney. By the way, the title is ridiculous. How SNL destroyed woke with their coconuts. Like, how could you look at that and think that was a serious fucking title? Like, I would want to know. Plus, a random American flag, which has nothing to do with anything. The picture of her from her Hooters skit and Hypnotic in the corner. And did Sydney Sweeney destroy woke using it as a noun? SNL monologue goes viral. That was the title of the video. They didn't include that title. But if you click on that video, you will see that I am literally dismantling this argument. So the fact that a progressive community shared my thumbnail without any context and then tried to label me an incel and all these other hateful names, do better. Like we're out here on the front lines of this shit and you're going to like do that? Come on, do better than that.
And that led us kind of to talking about it a little bit and like how, I know that there are people in there that like that watch our content for sure. We're definitely smaller content creators. There's a thread in there from the other day where people were like, post your favorite non-toxic YouTubers. And none of us are mentioned, which is fine because like maybe we're toxic because we cover toxic content. Maybe we're toxic in how we talk about toxic content. I don't know.
Yeah, I think there's like an adjacent thing where we're kind of. I know for sure that I skate the line with that, but I'm surprised that like turf wasn't mentioned. Like honestly, out of the four of us, like turf does some pretty base shit. I mean, I love our shit, but like the fact that nobody mentioned turf was really fucking.
I was pissed off for turf. You know who was mentioned several times though. Pillar of Garbage, as he should be,
as he absolutely should.
But also, there's a sub count issue there too, because like there's a big gap kind of between us and like Pillar of Garbage.
Oh yeah, this is completely different content. Especially my content is nothing like Pillars of Garbage content.
So it's like it's not about like oh, they don't give us our respect or whatever. It's like, look, this is actually kind of amazing that there's this subreddit of people that are, everybody in there generally is like knows that these grifters are grifters. They're not cool with the bigotry and stuff like that. I don't want to say everybody that's in there, because there's probably chuds hanging out in there too. But I don't know, man. Like it is kind of frustrating that we put a lot of effort and time into this stuff, into like directly going at it, and it. I guess I would just say that, like, promote your favorite content more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the shit that's not them, right? I'm not saying it has to be us. It'd be nice if it was us, but if you don't know who we are, hey, how you doing? Hopefully you see this. Subscribe. We're the Initiative. We do this shit every week, and then we do it on our own channels a lot too. But yeah, just there's a group of these people that all generally agree on the same thing. That this shit is bad and harmful and not good. It's fucking up the fandom. It's harmful, but they're not really doing anything with it. Whereas like any time that chuds get together, they're going to find a way to fucking use that as something, like to do something, right? Like they're going to try and leverage that mass of people into doing something with that power that comes along with those people. And it's like, there's got to be more than just like posting shit you don't like and then like
that was my one criticism, is that like as much as I do love that there's a lot of positive people in that community, because there are obviously trolls in there, but I see a lot of just like posting negative stuff and not a lot of positive stuff. And if I'm going to give praise to the Griftosphere, and this is really the only thing I'll ever say positive about them, they know how to organize and how to promote stuff within their community. And I think that's the one thing in the progressive community that we just do not have. It doesn't work as well.
You've got latent power sitting there in your hands in that subreddit, and it's not being used. And like, and I do want to say, by the way, like, this is not to fucking shit on them in general, because I've legit made lots of content off of information that I got from that subreddit. So like,
So that's all I'm saying. Like I expect that from the chuddy people, but like our community, like, come on. Like it really was kind of disappointing. Sorry, Greg, I didn't cut you off.
No worries. I mean, because it is a very I guess we're all trying to like emphasize that spaces like Solitude and Create have a lot of potential. It is not often you come across a more progressive, especially within like media, like fandoms and stuff, like a positive space that where people who are tired of all like the toxicity, who want a space where they can talk about franchises they like without getting harassed and stuff, and where they don't get like bigotry towards them. I think it's a really cool like subreddit to be. It's a very cool space. When I first found it that was back when it was more focused on Star Wars than anything else, right? It was like against toxic Star Wars fans. It was a place where I was like, wow, there's other people who also like The Last Jedi, who don't just and if some people don't like The Last Jedi, then they're not dickheads about it to other people, right? They don't like abuse each other. And I was like, damn, that's a really cool space. And like Dane said, over the years I've used a lot of the discussions in there for arguments for my own videos, and I think it's a really cool space. It's just like, we need to remember that. And I mean, I'm also a part of the subreddit, right? So I can also do more to actually take part in this, but it's like, we need to understand the potential that a space like this has online, because there's not that many of them.
And we also wonder a lot of times why people switch over to like the grifting space. It is because of the organization and the support that community gives. No shade towards anybody. Like, again, I would never even consider that, but there are people that are like doing this to try and make money off of it, and that's all they care about. And they're like, hey, talking positively about stuff gets no interaction, so I'm going to go and shit all over something and copy what these other guys are doing, and that's going to make money for me. and that's why it happens. And then like, that's why I think it's great that like over here, at least Dane to some degree, not me so much because nobody wants to come on my my shitty low hanging fruit channel, but Dane does a really good job of like making sure that he's drawing attention to a lot of great channels and a lot of great content creators, and so I think that's super important.
Well, I'm just trying to ride the coattails is all. But like two things that I wanted to say real quick, and then I'm done on it. Is this type of post? This could be a video. That could be a video. You could make a video saying, "Oh, well, apparently, we're done with this already. It's cool. Moving on." And you could kind of just like talk shit on Shad's dumbass for a few minutes, and that'd be a pretty solid, concept for a short video. So like, maybe consider if you're posting a lot in there, and you have stuff to say about it, you might try making videos if you haven't done that. Also, oh shit, what was the other thing? Shad's a fucking moron. That's all.
Who also doesn't understand why his channel with negative content is underperforming compared to his,
we could get into that. I mean, if he's still going on about it next week, we'll definitely get into it.
Yeah. And I mean, just to respond to what Dane was saying, because I agree, but there is also, you also need to remember that not everyone wants to make videos, and that's completely fine. Like it making a video like that can lead to harassment, can lead to hate comments. And it was just like the whole thing of putting yourself out there. It can be scary for a lot of people. That's not something like we should try to encourage people who don't want to do it to do.
Yeah.
And that's also not what we're doing.
You do have to have a certain, I guess, constitution about you to do it.
Yeah. If you want to use like Salty Earth and Crate, it's just like a space where you don't even post anything. You're just in there to like know that there's other people online like you who are tired of this shit and who like a place where you feel safe to be. That's awesome. Cool. It's just we just need to if there's anyone who wants to try to make a difference, it's a good place and then to start and also just like in general with what happened to like DJ, let's make sure we're not doing what they're doing on the other side.
Yeah, I actually went into the post. I was very respectful in the post, and I explained like, you look, my thumbnails are satirical. If you click my videos, you'll find that I am pushing really hard against these people. Just basically letting them know, be aware of my content, because the reality is, and this I didn't bring this up, and I probably should have. That's the first thing in Saltier Than Crate that they have shared of mine in over a year, I think. Yeah. And it just goes to show that those kinds of outrageous fucking things is what YouTube pushes out to people, which is why I try to hijack that pipeline.
True.
To get in
there.
I mean,
in a way, show that it's effective what you're doing. I want to point out, like, as I mean, this is exactly right. Not what they were saying before, but like, dude, the Rippaverse is built on comparing it's literally him going, well, I've talked a lot of shit on Marvel and DC, so I better show what I can do now. So I can do it better. I can do it right. And then, like, so for Eric July, who is Rippaverse goalpost, to then say this is fucking ridiculous, man.
I love that they act like it's not derivative when we literally had a person in here earlier saying that he loved the fact that YAIRA was like Punisher meets Wonder Woman. I mean, that is derivative. That's what that is.
Yeah. It's not spelled wrong. This is crate as in the crate dragon, not the planet.
Yeah.
It's spelled
correct. I mean, because the way the Crawl and Chaos here is spelled, that's the response to this one, right? Because the planet crate, like the original Salty thing, that's like CR, This like crate spelled like that. I think that's like a snake.
Well, Sketchy says the other subreddit is poison. Yes, it is. That other subreddit is.
It is, yeah. And it's just
isn't the crate dragon the thing that Obi-Wan rides on in episode 3?
I don't think we've seen a crate dragon movies outside of a skeleton.
The Mandalorian had a crate dragon.
Oh man, that's right. That's what it was. It was Mandalorian. They did
that's
fight one
right. Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes, they had a crate.
Also,
awesome.
look, I don't think it's a coincidence that crate, CRAIT, it's only, you take out the I, you got CRT. Okay.
Ooh.
Conspiracy confirmed.
Tell that. I dare you
the
to
X-Files
tell that to that
music.
server. They are rabid.
Yeah.
But yeah, so just like because I've had before when I've said in a video and forgot to like specify the server, like this was a while ago, I had some people in the comments being like, "What the fuck, man? You recommended this subreddit," and I came in there, I just got harassed. I was like, "Okay, which one was it?" And then they said the wrong one. I was like, "I'm so sorry."
So
for
sorry
that.
I didn't specify. Yeah.
Remember, it's this one with the K and Y. Damn.
Oh. I think that's pretty much it. Then we've covered.
We hit it
covered
all, folks. We win.
We kept Turf an extra 15 minutes. So
Yeah,
We hit all the goalposts, guys.
I will die now, but it was worth it.
We gotta do a fucking special one time, just looking at the crazy narratives of Mike Zero's.
Yeah, Mike Zero is one of the most batshit ones I've
It really is.
He just makes shit up. It's like this is all true, sure.
There's a reason why he doesn't appear on the other grifters spaces, because he's just too ridiculous. They wouldn't associate with him.
It's insane, but he
And
gets
that's bad.
crazy views still.
But the funny thing is, I don't even know if he really contributes to any of the toxicity, because I don't know a lot of people that take his shit seriously. It's almost too ridiculous.
Yeah, it's just I don't get it. Mike Zero, like my first video on him, that was my first like proper, I guess, like like big video. I remember he got like 50,000 views or something. I was like, oh wow. This is very early on.
That's funny.
Yeah, he is insane.
I just want to say that the Fallout trailer looks pretty fucking badass.
I thought it looked really good.
And it's crazy that they're just like, girl, bad.
I can't wait for people to start calling Fallout woke. They know, the people who will say that know nothing about Fallout.
I want to sound like one of the smart guys. It's not because women are in it. It's because of how they're written in it. That is the problem. It's the writing. It's not the women.
What would they have if they didn't have lies, dude? Like, holy shit.
Yeah.
They will call Fallout woke just like they call X-Men woke.
Isn't Dragon's Dogma 2, isn't it a character creator? Is that what it is?
Yes,
oh, yeah.
Like
Okay,
that's the
gotcha,
character
yeah.
created.
I mean, actually, she's pretty fucking hot, to be honest. Like,
And listen, the worst thing that these gamers are doing right now is trying to take Stellar Blade on their side. Listen, on the left, we like good jiggle physics too. All right, they're not.
I can't imagine that they don't. The neurons aren't firing. That they're like, hey, we're gonna show pictures of women with body types that aren't like superficial, like unrealistic goals, and we're gonna say that they're ugly, and we don't believe that has any impact on people who don't look like a model. Like we're gonna push this in their face all day long and tell them they're ugly and unattractive, and that's just okay. Like,
and also like. No, sorry.
No, I'm done. I'm good.
Oh, because like both like towards women we're seeing these and like the incredible standards that they feel like they have to live up to, but it's just for themselves and their own standards towards women. Like most of the people who are saying stuff like this online, right? I think we can assume they're pretty lonely, probably.
Yeah.
At least a lot of them, and don't really like have a lot of luck with romance, and this is not helping. Right, like putting images of female characters from a video game that just look like women, and saying like, "Oh, look at this ugly. This is wokeness. They're destroying gaming." And look at this fucking literal doll that was made in some game, and how beautiful she is. This is true. This is a true woman. Like that's just going to ruin your own standards, and you're just going to stay lonelier.
To think that we don't find people like Sydney Sweeney attractive. Like for some reason, if you're a leftist, you can't think that she's attractive. I'm like, the fuck is this argument? Like, she's a beautiful woman. Why would we not think she's attractive? I don't get it.
I went to watch Anyone But You, and I walked out of that fucking cinema as soon as she walked on, because that was too anti-woke, man.
I just want to point out, like, before we go, like, I want to show you guys the most nuclear fucking level garbage take, just insanity. Okay. This is, it's a post.
It's Ellie.
It's Ellie, and it says she's immune to the zombie pandemic and probably can pass her immunity to her children. She becomes a lesbian and takes care of her Jewish girlfriend's half-Asian baby. Bravo, Neil. And then...
What the fuck?
Whoa.
I mean, it's just... People like this just do not deserve to ever be listened to.
And it's like, and then you think about the fact that he says one of those crazy hypotheticals. So like How
yeah,
many
because,
are
you know,
you
there's
talking
There are
about?
others.
right? There's,
Like, you need to
That's
actually be
crazy.
locked up. Fucking.
you know, when you're coming up with hypotheticals for that, like, yeah, there's something seriously wrong with you.
I mean, anything other than zero, man. Like, that's a little bit problematic to say the least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just like the first part of it. Like of course the second part is awful.
Yeah,
The first
this
part
is
is so
terrible.
it's just yeah.
This
It's
sets
so,
it
like,
up for this, but yeah, it's all gross and bad. And I just wanted to share that and poison your brains too, because I had to see it. So,
wow.
So are we out of here? Is that it? Wrapping it up now?
No, we got 2 hours.
I don't need any more
Yeah,
poison in my brain. I need to.
I feel like for the past 10 minutes you've been like, so I guess this was it, and then we
Yeah,
something
like
else to
that's
talk
not-
about.
all right.
No,
well,
no more trashing.
no more.
gaming
on that
please.
note, we are
He's
fucking out of here.
already
Subscribe to all
dead.
the channels; they're all linked in the goddamn thing. And come by and say hi and hit the like buttons on the videos and do the comments in the comment section and stuff, because we're playing fucking algorithm game, people.
Hell
They're
yeah.
definitely playing it. Are you playing it?
Mm-hmm.
Don't
I
be
can't
passive.
believe I'm here for the end.
Oh my
This
god!
is-
Fuck
this
you,
is a
Mary
rare-
Alexander.
This is a rare occurrence.
Turf, do you
Mary
want to duck out and
Alexander.
then we'll close?
Oh, I thought you were saying somebody was in chat saying some shit.
No, I was going back to the beginning where we started.
Oh, yeah,
Fuck Mary Alexander, whatever her name was.
It was Amanda Hug and Kiss or something like that. I don't know.
Okay, yeah,
I don't know.
whatever.
Yeah, hug and kiss.
All right, folks.
Amanda Millers.
On that note, here's a little clip. I know a lot of people believe that in this woke thing as something that's real or whatever, and they don't want to kill people, right? There's a lot of those people. There definitely are some that want to, for sure. But I know there's some that are just like, this stuff is annoying, and it's, I don't like it when it makes me think of this stuff when I'm watching a movie, and those people exist. If you're one of those people, I would consider that probably the people that do want to kill people and want to exterminate people, they might have been where you're at some point, where just for them a couple of years ago or something, it was just annoying. Two people can be saying the same word and thinking almost completely different things. We're in agreement, right? We both hate wokeness. Well, this guy's thinking he just, I just don't like whenever they put Black Lives Matter messages in my TV shows. And this other guy's thinking, I want to kill black people.
That's the first step in radicalization right there.